Tennis once noted that pressure is a privilege. And in a sport known for individual achievement, here in the nation's capital, a team with a refuse to lose mantra has thrived on pressure to create one of sport's great dynasties. The Washington Kastles are 6-time World Team Tennis champions, and tonight, led by Venus Williams, they host their rivals from San Diego, the Aviators, in a crucial battle in the standings as they look to make another run at the title and etch their name into a very special piece of silver, the King Trophy. This is World Team Tennis, presented by Geico. A big night of tennis in the nation's capital as the Washington Kastles host the San Diego Aviators. Plenty on the line for both these teams, 5 wins and 2 losses. Welcome inside Kastles Stadium here at the Smith Center. A big night of tennis. Remember, we're only just past the halfway point of the season. Already a match that may go a long way to deciding who will play for the King Trophy on August 5th. I'm Lee Shiras alongside a former Castle and a former MVP, Renee Stubbs. And Renee, historically, the Kastles have seemed to deliver at this time of the season a big match like this. Are they ready to do it again?
Well, they certainly are, and they're used to winning a lot here in Washington. And when you add someone like, well, Venus Williams, 7-time Grand Slam singles champion to your team, who's also been an intricate part of the Kastles throughout their history, she's used to World Team Tennis players. She's not walking in here a little bit overcome, and a lot of players do that when they come to play World Team Tennis, not Venus. So she's coming in tonight, going to give the fans what they want, and I suspect that she will come out and play very well again this evening. Yeah,
there's plenty on the line for Venus and for the Kastles tonight. They're in a second-place tie with the San Diego Aviators, just a game behind the Philadelphia Freedoms, who have had a great season, led by Taylor Townsend. So you can see just why this one is so important. Who will go to 6-2 and keep up with the Freedoms from Philadelphia? Certainly exciting times for the top 3. Can the Orange County Breakers make a run? They might have to win out if they're going to be around for the King Trophy Finals on August 5th. Chance to look at the Wilson lineups. And the Aviators, a very strong team. Mark Swillis, Marcin Matkowski, Annalena Grunewald, and Naomi Brodie. 2 Brits, and coached by a Brit in John Lloyd.
Yeah, there's actually not one American on the team for the Aviators, but on the other side of the ledger, well, there's plenty of them to choose from. The only one that's not American is Robert Lindstedt, who's, of course, Swedish, but Venus Williams, Madison Bringle's been fantastic throughout the season. Nicole Mellicar has just come off an amazing Wimbledon, having gotten to the finals of the women's doubles and won the mixed doubles title there. And Tennis Sangren, who's played very well in the singles for the Kastles as well. Bottom line is, it's going to be a great night.
Yeah, it will be. And obviously, the Aviators are a very strong team. They've won 4 matches in a row, so they have momentum, they have confidence, and they're pretty strong from top to bottom.
They certainly are, certainly in doubles as well. And going from outside to inside is not as difficult as going from inside to outside. So for the Aviators, coming in here and playing indoors is good for all of their team because they all have big serves and they'll appreciate this indoor surface a lot.
Yeah, Murphy Jensen is the captain of the Kastles. He's done a great job as a coach over the years. He's the man who sets the lineup, and we can look and see how they're going to kick things off. He's got an ace up his sleeve in Venus Williams, and he's definitely saving Venus for last. First off, men's singles, mixed doubles, men's doubles, women's doubles, and women's singles.
Yeah, we certainly, at the beginning, you know, a lot of the time you set the tone for the evening with Marcus Willis coming in against Tennis Sangren. That's going to be an interesting. Marcus Willis is a lefty. He's tricky indoors. He won't be easy for Sangren to beat. So that might be a telling sign for the whole evening.
Plenty of good tennis tonight. Can the Aviators come in and pull off the upset? You can see what's on the line, just a game behind the Philadelphia Freedoms. Now, they've been led by Taylor Townsend, who's having a brilliant season.
Amazing.
And remember, World Team Tennis, 3 sets are doubles, so doubles is such a key.
It is a key, and if you're talking about Taylor Townsend, she hasn't lost a singles match. So when you add in someone who's a solid singles player on top of the fact that doubles and mix, and that's what Billie Jean designed with World Team Tennis. No one's more important than anyone on the team. Doubles is as important as singles, singles is as important as mixed doubles, and vice versa. So everybody contributes to the end scoreline at World Team Tennis. It's a cumulative scoring, so bottom line is no one's more important then the team and the city that you play for. And the Kastles have really exemplified that through the years.
Yeah, and that's what makes it such a pressurized environment. We start out with men's singles, we close it with women's singles. So we'll bookend it with singles matches, doubles in between. Plenty to look forward to. How are you calling this one?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think I have to go with the Kastles by about one game. I think it's going to come down to right to the end tonight. We'll see what happens. Looking forward to it.
So we're looking forward to this one in D.C. Glad you could be with us. The Aviators visiting the Kastles. Can they come away with a road win? They've got 4 wins in a row. D.C.'s on home turf. They always play well at home, always a great atmosphere. But first up, it'll be men's singles. Marcus Willis and Tennis Sandgren. It's up next.
I woke up in Memphis and told people about Geico. How they could save 15% or more, but by just calling or going online to geico.com. Sorry, are you gonna... Every time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Oh, you're hitting them good, Jay. Have you ever played golf in the snow before? Oh, my goodness.
I'm just going to try to practice for all my life and see what it ends up to. Hopefully I'll be good enough to go to the tour.
Good shot, Big J.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same. Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots and close shaves.
Of wins for the history books.
And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game.
And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness
is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
Nearly all profits from Bloomberg LP go to Bloomberg Philanthropies, which is dedicated to saving and improving lives around the world. So when you work for or with Bloomberg, you're doing a whole lot of good. Learn more about our good work at Bloomberg.org.
World Team Tennis is brought to you by Wilson. Get the best gear in the game. By DecoTurf, official tennis court surface of World Team Tennis and the official surface of the U.S. Open since 1978. By Forevermark. Less than 1% of the world's diamonds are worthy of the Forevermark inscription, Forevermark. A diamond is forever. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Well, it's a humid evening in the nation's capital, but the conditions are perfect inside the Smith Center. And you can see the excitement that this event generates every evening in D.C. You see Coach Murphy Jensen, Tennis Sandgren already have made their way onto court.
Nicole Melika, who had a great Wimbledon, as I said, in the Open finals of the women's doubles at Wimbledon and won the mixed doubles at Wimbledon.
Yeah, what an amazing run that is.
Yep. When you're hot, you're hot.
And Melika, just 24 years of age and coming into her own. This will be her second season with World Team Tennis. So she's gotten something out of it. Here's Robert Lindstedt, the Swede, the doubles man.
41 years of age. Still playing great tennis, coming back from a few injuries.
Yeah, he's on the same page with Leander Paes and Daniel Nestor, Bob and Mike Bryan in terms of playing tennis and playing it effectively into their 40s.
Yeah, I saw Daniel Nestor, he played last night, 45 years of age, still going. I don't know, is this his last year? He keeps saying it's his last year, but we'll see.
Yeah, he's always looking for one more something to play.
Yeah.
Here are the Aviators, looking poised and ready to go. Captain John Lloyd, second from the left. Marcus Willis beside him in the headband. Madison Brengle, she's been so instrumental over the years. In fact, she clinched with the women's singles one season the King Trophy.
Well, we don't need to really say much about the next competitor. Future Hall of Famer. You heard that she's been a part of 3 championships here in Washington. She loves playing WTT.
Yeah, there's Venus Williams. One reason why the crowd is so excited about things tonight, trying to get her place in line just right. It's tough to match the excitement that World Team Tennis delivers when it comes to tour tennis. You'd have to compare it to Davis Cup or Fed Cup.
And remove your hands. Presenting the colors tonight. Please welcome the Joint Color Guard Forces. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome retired Master Sergeant Caleb Green to perform our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare that was bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Master Sergeant Green doing a fine job. And we'll see which of these 2 teams can deliver this evening. A huge match as we make the turn into the second half of the season. And even though it's sort of just day 10 of 3 weeks of World Team Tennis, there is so much on the line tonight, you feel, and it might just be that ticket to one of the 2 spots to get into that King Trophy match.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, Philadelphia Freedoms are looking really good, Leaf. They are strong in every department, singles, doubles, and mixed in the men's and the women's. So I just don't see Philadelphia not making the finals. I just feel like they're so solid in every department. It's very hard to, I just don't see them not being one of the teams.
Yep.
So I feel like it could come down to, obviously, these 2 having to play against each other tonight could be a massive indicator on who's going to be in the other final. Are we going to have 2 East Coast teams? Or are we going to have a West Coast team and an East Coast team?
Yeah.
You know, it'll be interesting.
Exactly. And what has been interesting, too, is that the Kastles won 5 consecutive titles, 2011 to 2015, 2016 the Aviators, 2017 Orange County Breakers. So the California teams have stepped up. Will they step up again this year, and will they step up tonight? Just to remind you of how this evening is going to unfold, World Team Tennis is a little bit different than tennis at the country club. And the rules, you've got no ad scoring. Remember, every game counts to that final score. Substitutions are allowed If you're having a bad night, the coach can plug you in with someone else. Lets are in play. That's always a challenge and adjustment for the players, but I think it adds to the drama.
Certainly does. And in doubles, just so you know, if the person serving hits the serve and it is a let and it pops up, the returner actually can have their partner hit that shot. It happened twice last night in Philadelphia. I played 13 seasons of World Team Tennis, and it only happened twice.
And you know, it happened in San Diego when I was there as well. And Annalena Grodeveld went across and banged a winner. It really is fun.
It's fun.
Here's the format. We know what the teams look like. 5 sets, men's and women's singles, men's and women's doubles, and of course the mixed, always an adventure. Sets are 5 games. You get to 4 games all. It's not a 12-pointer, it's the 9. So the tie-break, the games, all could be decided by 1 point. Even the match itself could be down to a single point if there's a super tiebreaker required.
Yep, and it's never over until it's over, literally. If you're ahead in that last set and you win the set, then it's over. If you are behind, you can still catch up depending on how many games you're behind. So we'll get into all of that later on in the match tonight. But bottom line is, this is a huge match for the standings of World Team Tennis. And now with Venus Williams here tonight, it kind of adds a little more spice to the whole event.
Here's a look at the 6 trophies. 2009 was the first, and there are the 5 consecutive. And remember, 2 of those seasons were undefeated seasons, 2011 and 2012. And that ran into the 13th season when they had 34 consecutive wins in total. Pretty impressive stuff.
1 minute.
Here's Murphy Jensen.
1 minute.
He's instrumental in driving the passion that so much drives this franchise and drives this team. He was warming up with Nicole Melikar a little bit earlier. Here's John Lloyd, the Brit. Not many players have won it as a player and a coach. He's done that. Won it for the LA Strings and also was Coach of the Year for the Aviators when they won the title in 2016. I played with John with the LA Strings, and Jeannie Buss, now president of Lakers, was the owner of the franchise at that time, played at the Forum. John was a great teammate, and obviously he's a great coach. Great chemistry guy.
Well, he's just a good guy. It's fun to be around. He obviously knows the game inside and out, and he's been a great influence for that team. Enjoys being out there in California, spends most of his time in Florida now. Probably likes the no humidity this time of the year in California.
Yes, exactly. So just to remind you of what's on the line tonight, the Kastles and the Aviators tied for second, a game behind Philadelphia. The Breakers at 3 and 4, the Lasers 2 and 5. I mean, those teams really have to win out, and you feel like the Empire, no chance now for them as they've struggled. You know, the thing about the Empire, 2 super tiebreak losses, and 2 of their matches 4 games or less. It just comes down to a couple of moments in World Team Tennis.
I don't know about now. I'd have to look at the standings, and the games won and lost. But 2 nights ago, they were actually 3rd in the league in games won. They just couldn't win the big points. I mean, so that's what you're talking about when you're talking about World Team Tennis. You're talking about the 3 all points, the tie breaks. It really comes down to literally 1 or 2 points in World Team Tennis. And you may look like you got blown out, but it could have been 5 points that decided literally how large a lead could be at the end of a night.
The match swings in your favor or goes against you. Venus knows it better than anyone. She played the women's singles in the final. I believe it was against Coco Vandeweghe.
Yes.
It was in Charleston, and it came down. I think she was losing, turned that match around, won the final set, and the Kastles won another championship.
Yeah, I mean, she says it's one of the most exciting moments of her career. I mean, this is somebody who's won 7 Grand Slams in singles, multiple in doubles.
Around the court.
I mean, it was. I mean, you can just look at her. She's gold medalist at the Olympics, and she's still a little bitter about that silver medal in the mixed doubles. I'll tell you that, because all of her medals were gold, all of them, in singles and in doubles. When she won a medal, it was gold, and then at the Rio Olympics, she lost in the final to fellow Americans Jack Sock and Bethany Maddox-Sands, and still talks about it. Still a little bitter.
Well, champions have a memory for those things, and obviously she's one of the great champions of our sport. Yeah. She's been talking a little bit about how at Wimbledon, for instance, she got off to slow starts in the first 3 matches. Can't get away with that at World Team Tennis. Here's men's singles. Tennis Sandgren serving to Marcus Willis. And Sandgren, he's been bothered by an arm injury of late, missed a couple of events. But we know what a fine season he has had. Obviously, the run at the Australian Open, getting to the quarterfinals in his debut. I don't see that too often. And a great addition, again, for Mark Ein and the Kastles in the singles.
Of course, you remember Marcus Willis a couple of years, was it last year? 2 years ago, where he had that incredible run at Wimbledon. It was just a storybook story.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Got the last spot in the pre-qualies, got through the qualifying. Beat Ricardas Barancas in the first round, who was a top 50 player. Willis had never won a Grand Slam match. And then he played Roger Federer on center court.
Yeah, it was so much fun just to see him have that experience.
Yeah, that's a great start from Sandgren. We talk about the abbreviated game scoring, abbreviated sets. Good starts are at a premium, and that was a good start for this man. 27 years of age. He's out of Gallatin, Tennessee. Played college tennis at the University of Tennessee very successfully.
Tennis, went to Tennessee, plays tennis?
Tennis.
Yep.
Now remember, his name is Tennis with a Y.
Yeah.
And this is where Willis is a little bit different. You know, he's a left-hander. He's got a lot of finesse plays. He's not a slugger.
He's kind of like the person that Brad Gilbert wrote the book for, Winning Ugly.
Winning Ugly, yeah.
You know, he doesn't have a real weapon in his game, but he just is so slimy and tricky and annoying to play against.
He resides in Warwick.
Obviously has a very good lefty serve, and that helps. Uses the chip backhand, comes into the net, has beautiful hands. Oh, wonderful return from Sandgren. Cuts the angle on that slider out wide serve here. Absolutely impossible to get that back.
Yeah, that's a good start for Willis. Both men getting out of the blocks well. Boy, first match, World Team Tennis, the crowd's intense. I mean, you feel those nerves, the butterflies. You want to get them to fly in formation.
Yeah.
Both men have done that in their opening service games. Remember, you play 4 games before you change ends. Another nice crowd on hand here at the Smith Center, Kastles Stadium. We're at campus at George Washington University.
Not a good miss. You have to understand what your opponent's good at. And obviously, Marcus Willis doesn't have a huge weapon from the back of the court. You can't make an error on that type of a forehand.
Mode is pretty solid from the back of the court. He has a bit of power about his game. So I think he's going to be patient enough to wait out Willis in some of these rallies, but he probably has the edge in firepower.
And let's not forget electronic line calling. The Hawkeye system calls the call. You hear it. There's no linesman. And I have loved it. I don't know about you, Leaf, but I think it's
great.
so awesome. And, you know, I've had this discussion the last few nights. It's so good because you're not leaving it to the player to challenge.
Yeah. You're using the same Hawkeye technology that would challenge.
Exactly. And it's very difficult sometimes for the players to make their own calls. I mean, obviously the linesman makes the call, but if you feel like you want to challenge, but you make the shot back into the court, you have to make a very quick decision in your brain. Do I challenge because I made the shot? I'm not sure. This is a huge opportunity for the Aviators. Oh, right on the line.
Exactly. You know, one thing Willis doesn't give, he doesn't give you that pace that most players enjoy. So Sandgren is having to generate all of that power himself. He's made a couple of mistakes. That one right on the line, and that's what Hawkeye Live saw. 12 cameras around the court that produce the calls, and the voice you hear is generated by a computer as well. Well, how about this? A break of serve, and Willis, that tantalizing little underspin ball, center of the court. Sandgren with the error.
You see, and the way that Marcus Willis plays is difficult to get used to early. If you were playing a normal ATP match, you wouldn't be panicked. You would sort of just be patient, wait for your time, get yourself into the match. But in World Team Tennis, it's first to 5. So you may not have enough time to get used to it before you're out of there.
Yeah. I mean, Willis had a couple good seasons for the New York Empire. Picked up by the Aviators this year. And there was Willis. He was ghosting in again.
Beautiful hands. That's all you need to do on that type of a volley, is just have soft hands into the angle. You can see why this guy did so well on grass.
Yeah, look at that little half volley. He used the one hand beautifully.
I think if Tennis Sandgren wants to get back into this match and win this set, he needs to come in. He needs to actually be a little bit uncomfortable. He's not comfortable, not anywhere near as comfortable as Marcus Willis is at the net, but he needs to press Marcus Willis to make some passing shots, and when he's had to do that, he's really kind of hitting the bottom of the net. So I'd be pushing to get in if I was Sandgren.
So here's Willis. Points for 3-1. And a nice off serve out to the forehand. The Aviators and Marcus Willis starting off brilliantly, 3-1.
So you just walk around telling people Geico could help them save money on car insurance?
Yeah, that, and homeowners, renters, motorcycle and boat insurance.
Huh, that's nice. What happens when you catch a fish?
Oh!
Geico. More than just car insurance. See how much you could save at geico.com.
I'm okay!
As people who love the outdoors, we know what we stand for. We stand for fish, wildlife, and conserving the places they call home. We stand for the traditions we inherited and that we must pass on. We stand for great gear, fair prices, expert service, and memorable experiences. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we stand together for you.
Oh, look at Venus Williams. She's riding the bench for the moment. First event of the evening is men's singles, and Marcus Willis of the Aviators out of the blocks brilliantly.
Yeah, she likes the music, Venus. She was at the Smashing Pumpkins concert last night.
Ah.
You follow her on Instagram, which I do. I saw that on her story. You know what that is, Leif? The Insta story. You know what? You don't know what it is?
No, what is that?
Oh my God, you're not that old.
I have Instagram, but I don't have Instagram
Okay.
story.
Oh well. All right.
There's a look at the Hawkeye, and it was on the line. Paint job. Good deep shot there from Sandgren. It's amazing about Sandgren. You know, he had never won a Grand Slam singles match when he got to the quarterfinals of the Australian Open. And neither had Marco Cecchinato, the Italian at Roland Garros. Never won a Grand Slam match, gets to the semis. Some amazing things happening this year on the ATP, and Sandgren was one of the big stories kicking off the season. He's settled in around 54 in the ranks at the moment, and he's got a chance to get another game on the board right here.
See, that's pressing and pushing Willis to have to do something with that passing shot. It's pretty limited with his forehand. I mean, his grip is so extreme on the forehand. It's pretty obvious where he's going to go with that. So Sandgren really needs to do that a lot more if he wants to get back in this set.
Yeah, and as you said, he came to the net there. I mean, sometimes the ball's going to tell you what to do. I mean, if it's short in the court, you've got to take the next step and build the advantage, get to the net. Effort from Sandgren. It was a great lob from Willis, but you can see the cat and mouse the Brit likes to play.
I always say, don't toy with the toyer. And he is, I mean, Marcus Willis is as good a toyer as you've ever seen. Maybe only Fabrice Santoro is better.
And he's got a pretty hefty first delivery.
Yeah, big serve. There's no question about that. He has that really quick hand and great wrist snap at the top, and of course being left-handed makes it even more difficult. Yeah, you got to play the lets. That was a let serve. Good return there from Sandgren, considering it was a let serve.
I mentioned the 12 Hawkeye cameras. There are 6 more cameras that help get foot faults as well. So we got 18 cameras total tonight.
That's so good. I mean, it's so nice. Listen, we grew up in an era that was a little different. And we appreciate this because you don't see this much on the tour anymore. This is just using the court, using the spin, and knowing where your opponent is on the court to win the point.
Yeah, and this guy's for real. You know, this is an effective style. Sandgren at the moment is getting carved up by Willis, and the Aviators lead 4-2. you know, Willis bumping around the sort of the lower echelons of the game, and then when he made that breakthrough at Wimbledon, you know, suddenly he was, you know, had a huge following on Twitter, trending on Twitter, doing interviews for Hello Magazine, which is one of the big magazines.
I like that you did the quotation marks with your fingers there.
You're the only one. I did that for your sake. And the funny thing about Willis is this is a guy who, yeah, he was playing ITFs and doing some things, but he was also coaching at the Warwick Boat Club's tennis center.
It's crazy.
Suddenly he was on center court playing Federer. I mean, it was a brilliant story.
It's kind of like the Eddie the Eagle of tennis story, but maybe even better.
Yeah, he's trying to smile through the pressure pretty well. Yeah, Sandgren's doing the right thing. He's got to get games on the board, take care of your serve, give yourself another chance at the Willis serve.
It's still game point. Come on, let's get behind it and shout out to him.
Great crowd tonight, as always, here in Washington. And now with Venus Williams in the house. Don't toy with the Toya. I mean, he tried to do it again. He went with a slice forehand there, Sandgren, rather than playing his game, which is to be aggressive, hit the topspin forehand. You can't play that type of tennis with Marcus Willis because he's so comfortable in this area of the court. No chance you're going to win that point. So a big point here, and a good Geico timeout here. Really for both teams, because it's a chance for Murphy Jensen and John Lloyd to get out there and give some advice, even if it's not in this game. Two Brits talking to one another. John's moving a little better. He had, was it double knee surgery? He's had a lot of knee problems.
Dials up the first serve, gets the game. And here's a chance for Willis now and the Aviators to try and get the opening event of the evening. Combination of finesse and some good heavy first serves have got Willis at 4-3. Sandgren also played to the finals at the U.S. clay courts in Houston, had a good run there, so he can play on multiple surfaces. Good, versatile player. See how he handles this indoor moment.
Certainly playing indoors, I think, would help Marcus a little more than tennis. Especially the serve. When you're a big server, there's nothing better than playing indoors because you can just feel like you can really utilize your serve so much better. There's no wind, no sun to deal with. Wonderful return. He's hit that a couple times tonight, that backhand down the line. You have to be ready for that wide serve. Didn't quite get it out there far enough, but it just left open a slight window down the line.
Yeah, nice 1-2 punch. So a quick Geico timeout.
He's just trying to ice him, basically. I mean, that's what you do with kickers, right? I mean, Willis has all the momentum right now, so Murphy Jensen's just decided, look, I'm just going to run out there and sort of put the freeze on him make him think about it a little bit more.
Yeah, it's oftentimes it's about your player, yes, but it's also about can I influence the opponent. So here's Willis, 2-1.
Oh, that's just so awesome. That is such a typical 1-2 lefty play, isn't it? I mean, serve wide, you know 90% of the time it's going to go down the line.
Yeah.
And you're just ready for that little angle. Beautifully constructed and beautifully executed. He's done this twice in this set.
Yeah, I know this might be high praise, but John McEnroe used to do that. Set point. I missed that.
Set point again for the Aviators. Oh, let's serve. And
let's serve, and I don't think Sandgren was ready for that.
Well, that was a tough one.
So there it is, the opening set. Willis gets the break of serve, makes it hold up. Aviators 5, Kastles 3.
Still nervous about finding a new apartment?
Yeah, but popping these things really helps me relax. Please don't. I'm saving those for later.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about renter's insurance. Just go to Geico.com.
Geico helps with renter's insurance. It's good to know.
Been doing it for years.
That's really good to know. I'll check them out.
Get to know Geico and see how easy homeowners and renters insurance can be.
World Team Tennis is back for another season of hard-hitting action on ESPN.
So many great points in this one.
July 21st, the New York Empire head to the nation's capital to take on France's Tiafoe and the 6-time WTT champion Washington Kastles.
Incredible point.
Then, on August 5th, the league's 2 best teams battling out in the championship final for the King Trophy. Don't miss New York Empire versus Washington Kastles, July 21st, and the WTT final, August 5th, presented by Geico.
Oh, you're hitting them good, Jay. Have you ever played golf in the snow before? Oh my goodness.
I'm just going to try to practice for all my life and see what it ends up to. Hopefully I'll be good enough to go to the tour.
Good shot, Big J.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same. Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots and close shaves. Of wins for the history books. And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game.
And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
Nearly all profits from Bloomberg LP go to Bloomberg Philanthropies, which is dedicated to saving and improving lives around the world. So when you work for or with Bloomberg, you're doing a whole lot of good. Learn more about our good work at Bloomberg.org.
Players from 14 countries across 6 different teams, 43 matches over 3 weeks. Who will make their mark in the race for the championship and the coveted King Trophy? This year's most valuable players, 1 male, 1 female. The Forever Mark MVP Awards unfold during the World Team Tennis Finals.
Time.
back, everyone. Pretty exciting opening set of men's singles tennis. Marcus Willis with the win 5-3. Marcus, congratulations. You have such a unique style. Tell us how you developed your style of play.
Well, I actually played badminton before I started playing tennis. I only picked up a tennis racket when I was 9 or something. So I used a lot of wrist in badminton, obviously, as you do. And I think when I started playing tennis, obviously my coach tried as hard as he could to get the habits away, but it makes me unique in a way, and if I use it well, I can be tricky, especially in this format.
Marcus, how fun is it for you to play with a couple of Brits on your team as well? And how's your relationship with John? What does he tell you on the court?
Oh no, he's awesome. We work hard together. I mean, we've worked on a lot since we've been here. My second serve in particular. And no, we've got a very, very good tight team atmosphere, and we get on very well, and I think that's what helps us to win tight matches sometimes.
Marcus, congratulations on the win 5-3. Continued good luck.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you in the men's doubles.
Brilliant, thank you.
All right, Marcus Willis takes the singles set 5-3. Captain Lloyd will be happy about that. They're trying to pull off the win tonight and move ahead of this storied franchise, the Washington Castles, in the standings. Remember, these two teams tied at 5-2. Always enjoy the mixed doubles. That's Annalena Grunewald of the Aviators. She's alongside Marcin Matkowski across the net. That's Robert Lindstedt, the Swede.
I tell you that
Nicole Melikar in the ad court for the Castles.
Robert Lindstedt and Matkowski would have played each other a whole heck of a lot on tour, because they're some of the older guys on tour now, and they would have played each other a lot. 37 years of age, from Poland. He has a massive shocker, as you've just seen, a massive serve. It's his first season in World Team Tennis, but it's a good format for him, because he comes out firing with big power.
Boy, he went after that one wide. He didn't baby that serve.
No, he does that. I've played him a few times myself in mixed doubles, and he does that. And his partner is Annalena Grunewald, 33 years of age, 5'11". She's from, well, lives in Hanover, Germany now, long time WTA player. Has a very good serve as well, has done very well in mixed doubles throughout her career. I believe everyone on this court has won a Grand Slam in doubles or in mixed.
I think Matkowski is a U.S. Open mixed finalist.
Finalist, okay.
And at Roland Garros, two-time finalist.
Couldn't get it done in the final.
Yeah. But he's been knocking on the door. Finals of the U.S. Open in men's doubles, too.
That's a big serve. That's just a bomb.
Yeah, Melikar won Wimbledon mixed this year. Annalena Grunewald's a two-time Grand Slam mixed doubles champion. She won at Wimbledon with Mark Knowles back in '09, and Roland Garros with J.J. Roger. So here is Melikar and Lindstedt.
We're going to see a lot of big serving, because all four players really do possess very good serves. Robert Lindstedt.
Yeah, he says being a part of this team this season, he's been a substitute before. This time is his first year as a full-time player, 41 years of age, lives in Stockholm. You know, he says his fiance has family in the area, so he's real comfortable being here, spend time with family, and play some good tennis.
We saw the interview with Venus Williams, and one of the reasons why she loves coming to Washington is she has family here as well, so it's a real family environment. Nicole Melikar, of course, 24 years of age, 5'11" as well. You got some tall women on this court. Second season of WTT, lives in Stuart, Florida. He was born in the same city as the late, great Jana Novotná. Venus Williams, and in the middle, getting ready for tonight's play later on.
Yeah, Yeah, some very effective serving from Lindstedt, who's a big, strong guy, 6 feet 3 inches tall. 22 career doubles titles on the ATP World Tour. Over 400 career match wins, so he has had a wonderful career. And it continues. Quarterfinals at Wimbledon, the doubles this year.
So again, Annalena Grunefeld has a good first serve. So it's really, this is going to be a tough one to pick. I think this, I mean, it really should come down to the tie break in this particular match. Still going with the I formation. She's calling where she wants to serve and where she wants him to move to.
How intimidating is it for the woman on the court trying to channel that return? Is it intimidating to have the man up at the net there? How tough was that for you? What did you do in that situation?
Oh, I tried to pick my spot before, not worry about him too much. You know, I would make the decision, okay, I'm going line or I'm going cross court, or I'm going through the middle, whatever it was, or I might think I might lob on this one, but I always tried to have a set play before the serve came at me. And I think that's it's vital in doubles to have that. Because most of the time you're missing because of the movement at the net. And you know, most players, if you didn't have anyone standing at the net, will make their return 95% of the time. But they're more worried about what's the net player doing.
So you have to sort of separate that from what you want to do.
Yeah. And then if they hit a good volley or move to the wrong or move to the right spot or wrong spot, then too good. Oh, wow. Well, I'm not quite sure what Nicole was doing there, though. She should have really moved to the other side and allowed Robert Lindstedt to have a bit more court. Watch this. This ball goes over her head. She really probably should have moved out of that, because if he doesn't hit a winner on that overhead, the whole right side of the court was open. Oh, that's a bad miss.
Yeah, he's got to make that volley. So the Kastles fight back. Now here's the first deciding points of the evening. A break point and a game point.
Oh, massive pressure now on the second serve.
Great return by Melikar just to get it back into play.
Well, that's where you look back on the evening and you think, where did we lose this match? And if the Aviators were to lose this match tonight by 1 or 2 games, you think back to that Matkowski volley on game point. You cannot miss volleys like that in the scoring system the way it is in World Team Tennis. It put a lot of pressure on Grunefeld there. She hit a good second serve too, and just didn't respond on that ground stroke.
And you also wonder, could Matkowski have made a move on that? Obviously, he elected to stay home. Turned out well for the Kastles. Here's the mixed doubles champion from Wimbledon, serving 2-1. She played with Alexander Peya and Melikar in the mixed. They beat Jamie Murray and Victoria Azarenka.
Yeah,
mixed doubles final.
She played
Excellent
really
win.
solid, really solid. Jamie Murray didn't have one of his better matches in that particular final.
Geico timeout, and I think John Lloyd, a quick word with his side saying we got to get some more returns into play. I mean, both teams have struggled with that sort of particular phase of play. even if you chip, you don't have to drive, just get something in. Or did you like to lob the return? You said that sometimes if it's pace coming at you, just lob it up there?
Absolutely. I mean, here you have to be a bit careful because of the low scoreboard, but you can still lob down the line here and around the scoreboard.
Let's get on to your castle. Shout out to them.
Stepped out nicely. And so often in doubles, if you sense your partner's in trouble, maybe you can step out and intercept like Lindstedt did there. Make that contribution, help the cause. Again, Lindstedt at the net. So the Kastles making a move in the mixed. It's 6 games all.
A tennis league built on innovation, passion, and respect moves into the digital video age. For the first time, fans around the globe can stream every match from the World Team Tennis season on our new channel, WTT.tv, completely free. Watch major champions and rising stars come together to compete for the coveted King Trophy.
So many great points in this one.
This summer, watch the entire season at WTT.tv, presented by Geico.
I woke up in Memphis and told people about Geico. How they could save 15% or more, but by just calling or going online to geico.com.
Overall score 6 games all.
Sorry, are you gonna... Every time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
As people who love the outdoors, we know what we stand for. We stand for fish, wildlife, and conserving the places they call home. We stand for the traditions we inherited and that we must pass on. We stand for great gear, fair prices, expert service, and memorable experiences. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we stand together for you.
Matkowski serving in the mixed doubles, down 1-3. He's won the opening point, but that smash from Grunewald goes awry. Yeah, Matkowski is very accomplished doubles player. 7 years he's played in the year-end championships on the ATP World Tour. 8 best teams in the world qualify, so he's been...
Oh, the perfect serve.
At the top of the list for a while. That's the best ace to get, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's the best leg cord because if that had bounced up in the middle, Malakar could have run that down, but instead it bounced over to the right of the opponents.
Great example there. Malakar, heavy serve. She just threw it up high. Kept the point alive, kept the Kastles' chances alive. They took it with the error from Grunewald. 2 points all.
Big serving again from Matkowski. not high enough on that lob. Not a bad idea considering Grunefeld had missed an overhead earlier in that game. But no error on that one.
Yeah, always a little bit of a conversation between teammates as they try and get their plan right. And obviously, Lindstedt with his heavy serve, I'm sure he's saying, hey, if there's anything floating up there, just be alert, finish it. Boy, a lot of young people in the house tonight. They're all excited to be a part of this evening.
Awesome. Yeah, see, that's where I just think the mistake is made. You have to have a plan. I mean, there's no chance that she's going to win that rally from the back of the court with Lindstedt. I'm not quite sure what she's complaining about, but really should have tried to come into the net. Even if you just make an average volley, it's better than being on the baseline.
Thank you. Let's respect all the players, please. Thank you very much.
Steve Reitman in the chair tonight.
Clock is stopped.
Out!
2-0.
You hear that out call. That was computer generated. We got Hawkeye Live working with the cameras tonight. No lines people on the court. Obviously the chair umpire and one supervisory official courtside.
That's where you just have to be a little bit more switched on in mixed because the serve is so much bigger than it is in women's doubles. It's coming back to you quicker than you're used to. So you've really got to have your, fast twitch sort of turned on. Just wide. Good serve there from Lindstedt.
Yeah, there's what Hawkeye saw. Just a little wide. And again, Grunewald doing a nice job with that pace.
I mean, that's the mistake that so many players make. Just get it back in the court. And, I played mixed doubles many years with Todd Woodbridge, one of the great doubles players of all time. And he was so encouraging. If I made the return and we lost the point, he said, you made them play. You made them play.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so important to get the ball back in the court because under pressure, you will get points.
Another game for the Kastles. And now 4-2. You can see the 7 games all is the match running score. Todd Woodbridge, obviously, in the International Tennis Hall of Fame, alongside Mark Woodford. Great doubles pairing.
Yeah, I mean, Todd won, I believe, 17 majors, 9 doubles at Wimbledon. Wow. Yeah, so that's a wow. He won 5 with Mark Woodford and 4 with Jonas Bjorkman. Incredible. I don't think that will ever be beaten as far as how many doubles titles that someone will win. 9. Amazing.
Yeah, Melikar beats Matkowski to the spot. And that's an example of just going cross court. I'm going to hit it, well, whether the guy's there or not.
Matkowski didn't really make a move. It's almost like he just waited in the middle. Now pressure back on Grunefeld. Going with regular on this one, no I formation. That's unbelievable.
That was money. First cross court, now down the line.
But again, that's just making the decision. I'm going down the line. I mean, she went cross court with the last backhand, so she's probably anticipating that he would move for the cross court, and instead beats him down the line again.
Nice exchange.
That was a clutch volley from Matkowski because he sort of messed up the last service game for Grunfeld. Yeah. So he knew the pressure was big time on him to make that volley. It was not an easy one.
Yeah, it's interesting. You look at a scorecard, you say, well, Grunfeld lost her serve. Well, remember, the blame can be equal between partners. You got to help her out at the net, too.
Just like that.
Exactly. Because remember, he did miss an easy volley at 3-2.
On game point, too. And it cost him the game. So this scoreline should have been really 3-all if he'd just done his job at the net.
So here's a deciding point. Kastles won the last one. Let's see what the Aviators can do here.
That was a huge point. We say that all night long in World Team Tennis because that's the beauty of it. It's really about pressure. I mean, Billie Jean always said, you know, pressure's a privilege, and you're out there playing, and you have to look at it as though at 3-0 point, I'm going to still keep hitting the same ball. But Nicole had hit one cross court on the backhand and down the line, and on that one it was almost like she wasn't quite sure which way to go.
Yeah.
And that's why she missed it.
Boy, a good serve, and Grunfeld saw it early, cut it off nicely. So, here is Nicole Mellekarp serving to try and close it out. Robert Lindstedt, her partners in an I formation position at the net.
Matkowski, that's some good tennis from him. So all of a sudden, the Aviators are looking pretty good now to maybe get this break back, but Mellekarp has a big serve.
Yeah, here's a Geico timeout, and for Murphy Jensen, it's a wise one. Okay, the Aviators have a little bit of momentum. Let me just try and cool things off a little bit. John Lloyd, 12 years as a coach. 6 as a player. Here's a look at Naomi Brodie. Just to John's left, she'll feature in the singles and the women's doubles.
There's a big serve.
Yeah, out of the timeout, she finds a first serve.
So again, just gets herself out of trouble with those 2 big first serves.
Yeah, the serve is one of Nicole's best shots. Used it well on that occasion. Now it's John Lloyd's turn for a quick Geico timeout. Top spin. Castle mascot. Lindstedt right on top of the net.
Yeah, but again, this is where you could use the lob. I mean, Robert Lindstedt literally could not be closer to the net. So you have to pinpoint the backhand side and try and get the lob over the backhand side. Obviously, the overhead is still very strong. Just once, it makes you think that they're going to lob. Instead, he's just closing on the net on this big serve. That's too good.
Boy, what a great game from love to down. Mellekarp hangs on to her serve, and the Kastles bounce back, take the mixed doubles, make that break stand up. Men's doubles is next.
Jay. Have you ever played golf in the snow before? Oh my goodness.
I'm just going to try to practice for all my life and see what it ends up to. Hopefully I'll be good enough to go to the tour.
Good shot, Big J.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same. Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots and close shaves. Of wins for the history books. And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game.
And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
Still a chance here. It's Willingham. Into the box. Willingham shoots. Goal! That was magic. Willingham tucks it in and puts the championship to bed. Sweet dreams.
As long as soccer players celebrate with a slide, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Pressure. What pressure? The players on the...
Nearly all profits from Bloomberg LP go to Bloomberg Philanthropies, which is dedicated to saving and improving lives around the world. So when you work for or with Bloomberg, you're doing a whole lot of good. Learn more about our good work at Bloomberg.org.
Tim shares his jacket.
Don thinks he's kinda nice.
Danny shares with Beth.
On a beach in paradise.
Robert shares his dance moves.
Then he shares a spin.
Victor shares with Emily.
But she's more into Quinn.
Kevin shares a song and the spotlight with Colleen.
Nick shares with Ben's sister, the DJ who's 19.
Deja shares with Curtis.
After her curfew.
Sharing's always better when I share a Coke with you.
A tennis league built on innovation, passion, and respect moves into the digital video age. For the first time, fans around the globe can stream every match from the World Team Tennis season on our new channel, WTT.tv, completely free. Watch major champions and rising stars come together to compete for the coveted King Trophy.
So many great points in this one.
This summer, watch the entire season at WTT.tv, presented by Geico.
Welcome back, everyone, to Washington, D.C. Nicole Melikar, she was the hero there, served it out. You were down love 2 in that last game. You called a timeout. What did you guys talk about? Because suddenly you got first serves in.
Yeah, well, my serve is my weapon, so we basically just wanted to try and make sure that I hit my spots and that Rob was all over the net.
Listen, Nicole, one of the things that Leaf just asked me is, what do you think about in mixed doubles when you have the guy at the net? Is your thought process to pick the shot before the serve comes to you or as it comes to you?
Before the serve comes to you.
You make that choice. You're going to go line or cross court, because I think a lot of people at home don't know what to do. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you're basically trying to play one step ahead and always anticipate, and it doesn't always go your way, but if you play the odds, most likely it'll work out for you.
Well,
Nicole,
you did it tonight really well. Well done.
You did a great job. Congratulations. Played through the pressure. The Kastles are in this one now.
Yeah, we are. So
hey, Nicole, before you go, how cool is it for you to sit next to Venus Williams on that bench tonight?
Oh, I mean, it's an honor to sit next to her. She's such a legend, and she's unbelievable, and it's really nice to be able to be on her team.
Nicole, you're a Wimbledon champion. You deserve to sit next to another Wimbledon champion.
Yeah, she's won a few more than I have. But maybe I'll have a chance to catch up, at least in doubles.
Yeah,
all right.
Well done, Nicole.
Yeah.
Good luck later.
Thank you.
Great set and good luck. Yeah, the Kastles making a move on the Aviators. There's Venus, enjoying herself as always, not only on the tennis court, but on a World Team tennis court. You can see the team, sort of the chemistry, the camaraderie that makes this so special.
Yeah, V's so fun. She's so fun. I've been on teams with her and little sister Serena through the years, and they are so fun to be on the side with. You get to see a little bit more of their normal personality, not so sort of strict. And I mean, this is who Venus is. She's a lot of fun.
Serving tennis, Sandgren.
You got to have the energy. Men's doubles now. Tennis Sandgren serving. Robert Lindstedt, his partner at the net in the red. Marcus Willis in the deuce court returning. And Willis finds space up the line. That's Marcin Matkowski in the deuce court. There's Willis, the Brit, the left-hander, who played so well in the men's singles opening set, beating Sandgren 5-3. Starts off the doubles in a good way. Finishing with a volley.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup for me. This is all four players sort of know what to do. I think Tennis Sandgren's probably the most uncomfortable on the doubles court out here, but
yeah, Marcus Willis was actually in the third round of the doubles at Wimbledon this year, so he had a pretty good run. But his finesse game, his good hands, he sees the ball pretty early. That'll be an asset for him out here.
And of course his serve will be difficult to break as well. And Tennis Sandgren coming up with some huge serves.
Sandgren going with the sleeve tonight.
Yeah, I think he's been having those elbow problems, and I think the sleeve helps him feel a little bit more secure. I saw him talking with Marty Fish the other night in New York about it.
Yeah, he did not play Halle for Tagenbosch Eastbourne because of the arm injury. Finally feeling better, and here he is. Good start for the Kastles. A look at that left-handed delivery. Obviously effective on the grass, but on an indoor hard court of this nature, it's going to have a bit of skid and carry to it.
Especially on this side, going into the fence.
And he's got a fairly experienced man up at the net, Matkowski, who fills the middle of the court so well. Longtime Davis Cupper for his home nation of Poland.
So he's hitting to the body, and Matkowski's going to move to his left. So the hand signals in between the serves are obviously really important, and if you, obviously your opponents can't see them, so that helps. It's always interesting to me that the guys make a decision before the first serve where they're going and what they're doing, and then on the second serve, oh, he's going T, and he will go to his left. Oh no. I was thinking, what does he do now? He's like, wait a second, I didn't plan that serve. Where do I go?
Yeah, well, you know, war is organized chaos out there. You got to adjust on the fly. I'm a little surprised Lindstedt didn't come in there.
Yeah, well.
Sandgren was at the net. Lindstedt is very comfortable up there.
Those are the quick decisions that you have to make in doubles, and I don't care who you are, it is much better to be at the net in doubles because you cut the angles off, you put more pressure on your opponent, and you give someone a lot less time on the baseline. So for everyone at home, even players that are more comfortable on the baseline, still keep trying to move forward. I mean, Venus and Serena are a perfect example. When they play doubles, they're always looking to hit and come forward and cut balls off at the net and be aggressive. Oh, what a lob. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, that was a nice little chip forehand return. Got the ball down. There's a look at the Hawkeye Live, the call that it made.
I love when the players...
Or that it didn't make.
Don't you love when the players say, I want to see it on the replay? I go, what are you going to see? You're only going to hear and see what we already know. The computer is not going to change its mind.
That's right. And it just moves the game along.
Yeah.
You know, as much as we did like the challenge and do like it on the tour, I just get the sense that this innovation, something that World Team Tennis seems to do so well each and every season, is one that's going to make its way to the tours.
Yeah, because we've seen it in play in the Grand Slams on some of the biggest points that we've seen in tennis, where Grand Slams have literally had match points decided. Roger Federer, I think about him at the Australian Open. It was a challenge call. Muguruza, last year at Wimbledon, queried and challenged a ball on match point. And she was right. And I just think about that, and you think, okay, what if Muguruza hadn't challenged that ball, let's say, you know, and maybe lost the point and ended up losing the match. I mean, she was up, I believe, very comfortably in the second set against Venus last year. But what if she'd lost and we had the technology to actually get it right?
Yep.
Why leave it to the players to make that decision? The biggest one that I can remember was Li Na playing against Agnieszka Radwanska about 4 years ago, and she hit an ace on set point, didn't challenge, lost the set. Whoa.
Boy, that had some movement.
And so it takes away the guesswork and the necessity for the players to have to make these challenges. I mean, there are some players that challenge only when they know they're right. I mean, I will say that one of the things about Venus and Serena through the years is they only challenge when they really feel like they're right. But we shouldn't leave it to the players to make the decision. So I cannot wait for this to get implemented on the tours.
Good serve out to the Willis backhand. I'm sure there'll be some unhappy lines people who sadly might not get assignments to events where they did in the past, but...
I mean, I'm sorry for them because I know that they love the game and they've given so much to it, but I'd rather get the call right.
Boy, that's a nice recovery from 1-2 down by Lindstedt. Kastles get to 2-1. So you can see the Kastles up 10-9. Lindstedt not getting too big a head about that.
Oh, you used that one the other night. It's getting old. Come on, get some new
Not
shtick.
everyone heard it, though.
All right, I mean, as we suspected, tonight was going to be a close match. And there's a reason why these teams are ranked where they are at 5-2. They're solid in every department, singles, doubles, and mixed. And I think it's going to come down to that last set. And how appropriate it's going to be, because it's going to be ended by one of the great players of all time in Venus Williams.
Yeah, and she has the game for World Team Tennis. A big serve when she's right, and good aggressive ground stroke. She can come forward so effectively. I find that to be such a huge weapon in this format where you can apply pressure. 2-1 on the Matkowski serve.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why Venus has won so many doubles titles through her career, and also why she's 5-time Wimbledon champion. She always was looking to move forward. Came so close to winning a 6-1 last year when she made the final. She got my vote last year for Player of the Year. Made the finals in 2 slams. Came so close again at the US Open, where she lost in the semi-finals. one of the great matches last year at the US Open was that match with Sloane Stephens. And she was my player of the year. I voted for her. There was no real outstanding player. Obviously, after Serena announced that she was having a child after she won the Australian Open, it was kind of like, it was an open season for a lot of great players last year, and Venus really played well.
That was tight. This is a break point.
Aviators using the Geico timeout, 1 minute.
And quick Geico timeout. John Lloyd making sure that the game plan is right. This is such a vital game. So Matkowski just trying to collect himself after that fairly egregious forehand volley error landed in the bottom of the net. There's Lindstedt just coming off the win in the mixed doubles. He's feeling good, feeling confident. His partner Sandgren has a look at a second serve.
That was a really good serve, though, into the body with some kick. And almost when you have more time, Leaf, to hit the return, you're sort of looking to see what your opponent is doing. Are they moving? Where are they going? And by the time that happens and you decide, the ball's already jumping away from you. So again, guess what? Another big point.
Yeah, Matkowski gets himself out of trouble, gets the Aviators back even. 10 games all.
Back for another season of hard-hitting action on ESPN.
So many great points in this one.
July 21st, the New York Empire head to the nation's capital to take on France's Tiafoe and the 6-time WTT champion Washington Castles.
Incredible point.
Then, on August 5th, the league's 2 best teams battle it out in the championship final for the King Trophy. Don't miss New York Empire versus Washington Castles, July 21st, and the WTT final, August 5th, presented by Geico.
Still nervous about finding a new apartment?
Yeah, but popping these things really helps me relax. Please don't. I'm saving those for later.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about renter's insurance. Just go to geico.com.
Geico helps with renter's insurance. It's good to know.
Been doing it for years.
That's really good to know. I'll check them out.
Get to know Geico and see how easy homeowners and renters insurance can be.
Come on, guys, pop it back up.
We know our customers have busy lives. That's why we're working hard to improve our customer service. Now with the My Account app, you never have to guess when I'll be there. So instead of cutting your day short, you can stay out just a little bit longer. I'm Jaquetta from Comcast. We should fit into your life, not the other way around.
Tennis Sandgren serving at 1-love now. You can see 10 games all. Huge set for both these teams. Sandgren doing a nice job getting first serves in, moving around the box, serving with attacking with variety. Nice going. Out of Gallatin, Tennessee.
You can just see how important first serves are in doubles, but particularly men's doubles, where these guys are just bombing the serve down over 120 miles an hour. Very hard to create any angle, which is why sometimes you can use the lob. It just doesn't get used enough. So he's going body, and Robert is looking to go on this one. Yep, there we go. So you're probably wondering, how do I know? Well, the hand signals are pretty routine on the tour. When you see a player with a closed fist or an open fist, closed fist means staying, open fist means going, and then the fingers will indicate where they're going to serve, whether it be to the tee, to the body, or out wide. And so that's, you know, it doesn't matter what language you speak, everybody speaks sign language on the court.
In baseball, we see people steal signals. Do they ever do that in tennis?
Well, unless your coach is sitting down that end. But then you've got to make sure you get it, you understand what they're saying. Did you mean he was going left or right? Or were they serving to the tee? I mean, so you got to, I think it would be hard to steal signals. I mean, unless you just had a call before, listen, if I point that way, hit it that way. Almost the tween the lob. We saw Rafael Nadal hit one of those at Wimbledon this year against Alex de Minaur from Australia. It was an incredible flick lob from the tweener.
Yeah, he's done that a number of times. It's crazy the feel he has.
Yeah, he's
so
position. Talented. Wow, that return. When Robert Lindstedt sees the ball early, and I've played mixed doubles a lot with Robert through the years, and there were times where he just was so zoned in on his returns, particularly on that backhand.
Yeah, when he hit that inside-out backhand, I thought of Anders Järryd, a fabulous Swedish doubles player who had that automatic, the backhand inside-out return every time. So here's Willis, 2 points all.
It's just some great serving, and when a left-handed server hits that serve to the forehand of a righty, it's very difficult because you naturally move a little more to your left, expecting the serve out wide or to the backhand because that's the natural serve for most lefties. But when they hit it well to the forehand, it is so hard to get it back. It's a nightmare, actually.
Yeah.
Or the
Willis
serve into the forehand body. I mean, they're all nightmares.
They are.
They're cheaters.
I was going to say that Willis, his third season. First year, though, with the Aviators. And Willis won the last set of singles in their last match to clinch it. That was against the Orange County Breakers in San Diego.
That's some athletic moving from Sandgren, because that was a really good point from Marcus Willis. Talk about just getting the ball in, making your opponent play a low first volley. Almost got the lob over Sandgren's head, but athleticism from Tennis Sandgren.
Yeah, he's just serving bombs. He was saying before the match how it can be tough to get to sleep at night. You know, you play these matches in the evening, you get a bite to eat, you come back to the hotel, and you're still wound up from the
it's
excitement,
a love-hate.
the energy.
It's a love-hate relationship, World Team Tennis, as a player, I'll tell you. Because you're so wired up after these matches, and you've got to kind of wind back down and often play very much the next day. Oh, that's a bad miss. You don't even try and hit that back cross court. You just take that right through your opponent as hard as you can.
Yeah, that's got to be straight ahead.
Oh, just don't even think about. There's little things you learn as a kid, and I remember trying to do something like that once, and a really great older doubles player that I played against, Kathy Jordan, you would remember, KJ, she said, that's the stupidest volley, and I never tried to do it ever again. Great hands from Matkowski.
Yeah, he took a page out of his partner's book there, the little deft touch, and then some good hands after that.
No, that's why being at the net is better than being on the baseline, because it's very hard to find space when you have two good volleys, and both Willis and Matkowski are good volleys. It's hard to, where are you going to hit it?
Yeah.
You can't hit a lob. I mean, both of them get up and rip the overhead, the only place to hit it, which is what the Bryan brothers do so well, is get it back down to the feet of your opponent, and you kind of play a little sort of tricky, kind of slower pace shots.
2 points all. And let's see what Willis does with this second serve. Sandgren, I formation.
I formation body, and he's going to his left. Beautiful shot from Robert Lindstedt. That was some pressure. I'm surprised, though, that Willis didn't move in behind that return, because that's the perfect, look at this great return. He gets it low. He should have been in it at net, because there's nothing much that Robert could do except that shot. I mean, is this match even or what?
Boy, is it ever. Game by game. Lindstedt, well, we know him for his power. Don't tell me it. Was he 41 years of age? He's becoming a finesse player now?
Well, as you get older, you get smarter. And that was a beautiful volley. But I think the lost opportunity from both Willis and Matkowski was, as soon as they get that return past the net player, you got to run in, because that would have put on so much pressure on the shoulders of Lindstedt. Instead, you basically made it available for him to hit that drop volley.
Yeah, both the Kastles in the back of the court. And they're going to stay in this position.
Oh, that just missed. I love this. They want to see it. It's like, guys, it's not, the computer's not changing its mind, but I just want to know.
Yeah, Hawkeye Live. It's calling all the lines. It's calling the footfalls tonight. 18 cameras and no lines, people.
Yeah, I just love it. I mean, it just takes away the human error. It takes away human emotion, everything. It's just, let's just get it right. We have the technology. Oh, that's just so unlucky.
Off the net court. Sandgren's living right.
Watch this. Willis tries to wait to see if it goes over to hit a drop volley.
Is there anything he could have done there? Like retreat?
Yes.
Obviously, it happened so quickly.
He could have tried to actually take it out of the air and before it hit the net. And if he'd done that, his hands would have been higher, and he would have been able to flick it rather than allow it to come and play him. By that time, it was too late. That's
another net court return from Sandgren.
I liked Marcus Willis' reaction there. He's like, I'm not touching it.
It's yours.
Yours. You got it.
All right. Points to get to a 9-point tiebreaker here in the men's doubles. All right, a 9-point tiebreaker it is. So 2 points for the first 3 servers. The last server will have 3 points if needed. First team to 5 has got the game and the tiebreak. So this one will end with one of these teams up 1 game as we'll head into halftime. And women's doubles and women's singles are the final 2 events. Feature, of course, Venus Williams, who is just in the locker room getting ready for her appearance. Good return from Willis.
first point, that could be very pivotal.
Matkowski has a great record in Davis Cup, 33-11. That's impressive, one of the best records in Polish Davis Cup history. That includes guys like Feeback and Furstenberg, some guys who really were accomplished in Polish tennis.
Of course, one of the biggest names, obviously, in Polish tennis, of course, Agnieszka Radwanska, and what she's done on the women's side. And for a small country, they've really had some pretty good players. Wow.
Caroline Wozniak, I believe, has Polish ancestry.
You'll be surprised how many great women's players of Polish background. Kerber spends most of her time in Poland with her grandparents.
Great return there from Sandgren. Look at that.
Yeah, if Wozniacki and Radwanska and Kerber, gee, they could have been a pretty good Fed Cup team. I mean, even ties in Australia. Samantha Stoza has Polish grandparents.
Really?
Alicia Molik has Polish grandparents. Yeah, so obviously with what happened in their history, they had to disperse. Lost a lot of great talent.
2 points all, the change ends. Lindstedt to serve now 2 points. Matkowski will serve the final 3. In terms of, is that a huge advantage? Or is it better to get out to a start with the first 2 and the second 2?
Well, I mean, only the final score will tell you the truth.
Here's Lindstedt.
Depends how big a server you are. Again, a great return there from Willis. That's where not getting your first serve in really hurts you in men's doubles, especially at this time now. Leaf, they've seen each other serve a couple of times, so they're starting to read the serve somewhat better.
Combination of plays just to get the return back in. Sandgren didn't do enough with the volley.
Well, he didn't do enough with the volley, and then he made an error here. Really, this was his ball. What? I'm not quite, well, I mean, Robert could have taken that too. But bottom line is, in doubles, somebody take the middle, because that is 80% where most people will hit the ball.
Now you feel for the Aviators, this is a huge moment just to even get the 1-game edge. Obviously, Venus Williams is coming out next in the women's doubles and in the singles. The Aviators are trying to give the women's doubles and the women's singles any slight edge they can. Matkowski, set points. Boy, Marcus Willis finishes it off nicely with a volley.
And you can hear a pin drop in here.
It really silenced the crowd there as the Aviators take the set 5-4, but the guys did their job. They got 4 more games on the board for the Kastles. So women's doubles is next, and the Aviators have come in. They've won 2 of the first 3 sets. They lead 13-12.
I woke up in Memphis and told people about Geico. How they could save 15% or more, but by just calling or going online to geico.com. Sorry, are you gonna... Every time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
As people who love the outdoors, we know what we stand for. We stand for fish, wildlife, and conserving the places they call home. We stand for the traditions we inherited and that we must pass on. We stand for great gear, fair prices, expert service, and memorable experiences. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we stand together for you.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same. Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots and close shaves. Of wins for the history books. And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game.
And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
World Team Tennis is brought to you by Citi. Welcome, what's next? Our nation's capital, the Aviators, a 13-12 lead, and Forevermark has been a big part of World Team Tennis for so many years, and they will decide who will be the MVP at the end of the season.
Players from 14 countries across 6 different teams, 43 matches over 3 weeks. Who will make their mark in the race for the championship and the coveted King Trophy? This year's most valuable players, 1 male, 1 female. The Forevermark MVP Awards unfold during the World Team Tennis Finals.
The awards decided the season, and here's Coach Murphy Jensen trying to get his team ready for these final 2 events, the women's doubles and the women's singles. Now, Venus Williams will feature in those matches. She also caught up with our Nick McCarville talking about the Kastles and her involvement with the team.
It's season number 13 of World Team Tennis, presented by Geico for Venus Williams, number 7 with the Washington Kastles. And Venus, you keep coming back. It's so different, World Team Tennis, but gosh, you must love playing here in DC.
Yeah, I do, and honestly, it's not easy. World Team Tennis is an extremely challenging format. You have to not only win for your team, but you have to make sure the other team doesn't get games. It's like this weird, it's a lot of pressure, but it's a lot of fun. That's what makes it exciting.
Yeah, you mentioned the team aspect. We're in the Washington Kastles store where you can find all sorts of gear from the Kastles. You also can find this week with the Kastles some 11 gear, the 11 pop-up shop. All right, so let's check out some of our 11 gear. And first up, this is a diary tee. Tell me about this, because this is really cool. This is Venus from her heart onto a t-shirt.
Yeah, this is our diary tee, and it's, not only is it super soft, but it's also some of the things that I write down to motivate myself. So it's all about believing in yourself and all these motivational messages that I repeat.
You've got pretty good handwriting.
Not really, but hey, it makes it more artsy, right?
Is it true if you look good, you also play good out on court?
I like to think so. You know, you've broken down some barriers because you feel absolutely fabulous, so hopefully you'll play fabulous.
I always think it's funny when we see players out on court, on tour, in the same outfit, but we don't really have that problem with 11. It stands out, it's got attitude, it's about self-expression. It's nice to have something unique out there too, right?
Yeah, I mean, today we're wearing our Castle colors, so it's nothing too crazy today, but this was actually our sprint collection, which is, you know, a little bit animal print. But, you know, our pieces are a lot more fashion forward because people liked those pieces best. So we're like, we better give more fashion.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for that fashion and best of luck with the Kastles, V.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Venus. And thanks, Nick, for that interview. You can see Venus involved in a lot of ways with the Washington Kastles. Check out her designs in the store. It's women's doubles coming up next. 13-12, the Aviators have a slight edge.
So you just walk around telling people Geico could help them save money on car insurance?
Yeah, that, and homeowners, renters, motorcycle and boat insurance.
Huh, that's nice. What happens when you catch a fish?
Oh!
Geico, more than just car insurance. See how much you could save at geico.com.
I'm okay.
We don't have a headset. Can you hear us on this microphone? So here's Venus Williams. Going to take a few practice swings as we get ready for the women's doubles. And while they get ready for the fourth event of the evening, we'll take a short look back at what's gone on so far. Kicked it off with men's singles. Marcus Willis and Tennis Sandgren squaring off. Willis, the left-hander of the Brit, came out brilliantly and came up with some amazing finesse shots.
Yeah, I mean, his game is so difficult to get used to quickly in this style. You have to come out playing well, and it was only literally, again, as always, in World Team Tennis, 1 or 2 points. And Willis got the early break in the men's singles, and that provided him with enough breathing room to hit some incredible touch shots around the court. I mean, he was serving and volleying unbelievable. Then it went into the mixed doubles, so the Kastles really had to do some damage in this set, and Robert Lindstedt played a great set, and Nicole Melikov came up with some unbelievable serving as well in big moments, as well as some really good returns under pressure. And they were able to claw their way back into this match with shots like that from Nicole, and then big serving in the end is what got her out of trouble on this one right here on set point.
Yeah, that was a huge sequence of plays. Grunewald, the one break, and the serve for the win for the Kastles. Men's doubles, it was close, lots of heavy serving. Came down to the 9-point tiebreak. And again, Willis, balls back in play. That occasion, Sandgren was able to finish.
Yeah, that was actually the first point of the match, so you knew there was going to be some entertaining tennis in the men's doubles. And look at the shot from Marcus Willis again with the touch. Just, we saw it all. We saw a lot of power serving, we saw a lot of touch volleys. This one from Robert Lindstedt on a huge point in the men's doubles. And then for the Kastles, unfortunately, they went down in this double. So the hometown advantage not on their side at the moment. They are down by 1 game going into the women's doubles.
Yeah, confirmation of the scores, but you can see a lot of games won. That's the key. Keep it close, pass it along to the next team, and that's the women's doubles. And you can see Venus Williams. She's going to also try and be the closer for the Kastles. That'll be in the women's singles. Grunewald and Brodie, Melikar and Williams coming up next. We also...
One minute.
Oh, you're hitting them good, Jay. Have you ever played golf in the snow before?
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just going to try to practice for all my life and see what it ends up to. Hopefully I'll be good enough to go to the tour.
Good shot, Big J.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same. Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots and close shaves. Of wins for the history books. And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game.
And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
A tennis league built on innovation, passion, and respect moves into the digital video age. For the first time, fans around the globe can stream every match from the World Team Tennis season on our new channel, WTT.tv, completely free. Watch major champions
Incredible point.
and rising stars come together to compete for the coveted King Trophy.
So many great points in this one.
This summer, watch the entire season at WTT.tv, presented by Geico.
Another beautiful evening in our nation's capital. World Team Tennis. 2 second-place teams squaring off tonight. A match that could go a long way to deciding who will play for the King Trophy on August 5th. I'm Leif Sharmas alongside Renee Stubbs. We're joined in the booth by a real friend of ours, but also a guy who Also owns the Kastles and is a co-owner of the league. Mark Hein, great to have you aboard again, Mark.
Great to be here with you guys. Another great night of World Team Tennis here in Washington, D.C.
And not surprising, a great match between two very strong teams.
Yeah, two teams tied for second place, and two, teams over the last 5 or 6 years who've really led the league, and it's no surprise that this one's going to come down to the wire, and it's a really important match for the 18th season.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Aviators winning the title in 2016. Last time the Kastles won the title was 2015. This is Naomi Brodie serving.
Oh, hello. Just to let you all know, yeah, I've won a few Grand Slam titles in my life. And she plays the backhand side. When she plays doubles with sister Serena, she plays this side, so she's comfortable moving in that direction.
0-1.
That is money. She was on top of that return early and hard.
Okay, Mark, so how awesome is it for you to constantly bring either Venus or Serena to the Washington market?
It's really a dream come true. As amazing as they are on the court, they're even greater role models for the kids in our community, and it's just a huge honor to be able to bring them to our town.
Aviators in trouble already. Love to. Now nice serve out wide for Brodie. Nicole Melikar, she's in the deuce tonight alongside Venus. And Brodie along with Annalena Grunewald, her partner at the net.
What a moment for someone like Nicole Melikar to walk on the court and be on the same court with somebody she would have idolized growing up as a kid. And there's some pressure on her tonight.
Yeah, pretty good body serve there from Brodie. And you've been around Venus a lot. She works pretty hard at her tennis still. I mean, she's in her 30s, but she still loves the game and has a passion for it.
She is totally dialed in. She was out here working really hard in practice today, getting ready for tonight. And yeah, she's all about continuous improvement, always getting better. And she was really excited to get out here in front of this crowd and try to bring a victory to Washington.
Yeah, she was upset at Wimbledon, but back in the saddle here in team tennis.
Oh, that's some good serving from Brodie. She's definitely got a big serve.
Yeah, from love 2 down, the Brit gets the game. Mark Hein looked a little cross-eyed there. I'm sorry, but it was a good game from Brodie.
They played well. I will tell you, we had a lunch today with Venus, and I asked her, would you ever play doubles with someone other than Serena the way Mike Bryan did when Wimbledon? And she said, why would I do that? There is no one better than Serena. And the answer is a flat no, which is what I expected.
Listen, Mark, I have the pleasure of having known Venus and Serena since they were 10 and 11 years of age, and I tried really hard to make them play with me. But for some reason, they just had to keep playing against me and beating me. So many have tried. And she doesn't need to, because Serena's still playing. Obviously, Venus is still playing. It's incredible to have them still around. I mean, they're such great ambassadors.
They really personify everything great about the sport of tennis, and when they get on the doubles court, it really brings a lot of attention to the game of doubles, which is great.
Yeah, attention for their opponents. Definitely, throughout my 20-plus years of playing, they were, without question, the most intimidating team I ever played against. There's something about the professionalism that they bring to the tennis court every time, and even playing with them, I had the absolute joy of playing with both of them here for the Washington Kastles. And you know, the things that they say on the court really tells you a lot about who they are as people, because they're so all about the next point. Well, I like the fact that Nicole called for that. She wants the ball, and that's what I like about her personality, that she has that which is good for team tennis. But I'm sure as she was about to hit it, she probably thought at the last second, don't miss it though, because Venus Williams is standing behind you. Not a bad option to leave it.
Nice moves by the Aviators. There's a good turn from Grunewald. You can play with that kind of depth. It allows the player at the net to get involved.
Whoa, that is a bomb.
Always a good time to dial up an ace. Chance to get the Kastles on the board in the women's doubles.
Oh, now it's a big point for Venus. Doesn't want to get off to a start of not winning her service game. It's such a good serve. And for a big server, you do not want to start this way.
Grunewald outduels Venus on the backhand wing.
Yeah, one of the things that I can guarantee you that Annalena Grunewald is pretty comfortable doing is hitting backhands cross court. And if you give her a backhand, she will make it 90% of the time. As great as backhand as Venus Williams has, and she has one of the great two-handed backhands, she was even caught off guard with the power off of that backhand. So I would have been trying to avoid that, or maybe have Melika move on the backhand on that occasion.
Geico timeout, Murphy Jensen quickly out. Tell me how instrumental Murphy's been in the rise of the Kastles.
Yeah, Murphy's been our coach for 10 years, and we won, well, the first 9 years, we won it 5 times, and I think that's a huge tribute, or 6 times. Huge tribute to Murphy. He's really the glue that holds the team together. You know, this is a long season. There's a lot of pressure, and Murphy kind of has that right balance of keeping people focused, but keeping them loose.
And he's also so involved in the community. He's constantly giving his time, not just to the players and the team, but to everyone around him, really. He's one of those high-energy guys. You love the passion he still has for the game.
He really makes the players want to win for him, too, and always give them the best.
There's a lot of responsibility when you play for the Kastles or you play for a team. You're responsible for the community, to get tennis out in the community. And the one thing that I remember about playing here was that Murphy did so much of that lifting for us, going out doing clinics. Doing his bit for the community and for the team, and that's something that, you know, is a rarity because he's such a great personality himself, and a lot of times the coaches aren't quite as visible, but he actually is so good for the sport. Okay, that on that occasion, Venus a little bit more prepared, and also Melika trying to look for the middle of the court, and in doubles you have to look constantly for the middle of the court.
Yeah, Venus played an excellent two-handed backhand there, way wide. And Brodie, she's very tall, handled that smash. some point.
And that's the key. The key in doubles is to come forward. Even though you might be a little nervous or tight, it is so much more difficult to hit a passing shot than to hit a volley. You know, as hard as that might seem, it is so much more difficult, particularly with Melika and Venus, who are so both tall, got range. Now they have to decide. The returning team decides in doubles in World Team Tennis. Huge point here.
It's out. The deciding point goes to the Kastles. Get the break back, and Venus is pumped up about that.
Mark, I want to know from your perspective, you've now been around Venus so much. What is something that people don't realize about her that you feel you'd like the people to know more about her?
Just how hungry she is and how hard she still works. Obviously, I mean, if you saw the practice she had with Madison Bringle out here, we could have sold tickets for that. But if you also saw how serious she's taking her nutrition and keeping her body right, for someone at that stage of her career to just do all the work that it takes to stay there is really impressive.
Yeah, I think the word is professionalism and passion. And she has both of them in oodles.
Let's get behind you, Kastles. Shout out to the goal. Shout out to Venus.
So Melika now a little pressure on her. Certainly the excitement to play with Venus, but you know you might see her 1 or 2 more shots coming your way.
Yeah,
they try to avoid Venus.
That's some good hitting. And here's the thing about for Nicole and Venus. I don't know how much Nicole feels like she can tell Venus what to do. You know, I mean, I remember playing with Venus myself, and it was a little different. I had a long-term relationship, friendship with Venus from a young age. And so I felt like I could be a little bit more of the captain on the team.
Right.
As far as, I'm going to serve here, why don't you look for this? Or vice versa. I don't know if they have that relationship, and it really is up to Venus to help Nicole make these decisions, which she's doing. You can see just from the conversations going on here. I can guarantee you they win this point just from the communication they had on that exchange.
Played some sensational shots there.
But what is Nicole Melika thinking, not coming into the net? I mean, she has, her volleys are okay. You do not stay on the baseline there. You have total momentum in that point. That's maybe where V needs to say, come in, be a little more aggressive.
Trying to get their signals right. What a serve.
So one of the things I think's interesting here is that Venus knows she's playing the last set in singles, so
she wants
a lot of times you're building up lead for someone else to get the job done or not falling behind. Here it's for herself. And I promise you people are aware of the score, and I know that she wants to go into that last set with the leader as close as possible.
Absolutely, right? No question. Normally you're sitting on the sideline going, come on team. Now she's like, oh, I'm responsible for this.
Still a break point for the Aviators. Wow, that's a couple of great sequences from the Aviators. They get a second break of serve, so they've got a 3-1 lead. Back in a moment.
Still a chance here. It's Willingham, into the box. Willingham shoots. Goal! That was magic. Willingham tucks it in and puts the championship to bed. Sweet dreams. Nice.
As long as soccer players celebrate with a slide, you can count on Geico saving folks money.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Pressure! What pressure? The players on the...
Nearly all profits from Bloomberg LP go to Bloomberg Philanthropies, which is dedicated to saving and improving lives around the world. So when you work for or with Bloomberg, you're doing a whole lot of good. Learn more about our good work at Bloomberg.org.
Time.
As people who love the outdoors, we know what we stand for. We stand for fish, wildlife, and conserving the places they call home. We stand for the traditions we inherited and that we must pass on. We stand for great gear, fair prices, expert service, and memorable experiences. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we stand together for you.
So the Aviators up 3-1 in the women's doubles. And Nicole Melikar coming up with a nice forehand right down the center to try and get this break deficit back. Naomi Brodie serving.
Well, it's not a bad choice to, if you're going to serve into Venus's backhand, it better be good because she can really hit anywhere on the court with that backhand. But into the body is a good choice against Venus. Those long limbs of hers. Good hands at the net from Grunefeld.
Yeah, Grunefeld's been playing pretty well of late. Won a title in Stuttgart, Fed Cup for Germany.
All right, well, there's a chance here. This is so important. This game is so big. And not only, Mark, is Venus worrying about it, so is Naomi Brodie. Naomi Brodie knows she's the one that has to go out and play Venus, so she's like, I need to hold serve right now.
They're both watching the scoreboard closely, for sure.
Two of the taller women you're going to see on the WTA Tour will be playing in that singles with Venus and Naomi Brodie. I would not be serving to the backhand on this occasion. You might pay the price. Oh, and a mistake on that volley. Boy, Mark, I know you just breathed a massive sigh of relief because that's huge, that point. Because that could come back to haunt the Aviators tonight. That was a very, very makeable volley from Grunefeld. But as a two-hander volleyer, which she is more naturally, that's a difficult volley for someone like me who had a one-handed backhand volley. That's actually an easy volley. For the two-handers, that's a problem.
I think one of the things you also have to realize is that the San Diego team's been together for a week and a half. They played a match together. Nicole and Venus have never played together.
Right. Yep.
And it takes a while to get to gel. Sometimes you can't even get it done in one set, but
yeah, there's no doubt, Mark, that's a great point. And not only have they never played together before, but you think about for someone like Nicole Melikar, I mean, this is a moment that she's never going to forget. You're playing against literally one of the great players of all time that you've looked up to. So her pulse rate might be coming back down to normal right about now.
Yeah, Grunewald sharp on the return. It was deep, and Venus was caught out.
Yeah, I can tell you from playing against Annalena Grunewald a lot, pace is her friend. So you don't always want to hit the serve really hard to her, particularly to the forehand. That's her weaker side.
All right, let's get behind your Kastles right now. Let me hear you.
Well, we've had 4 consecutive breaks of serve, and it's trouble for the Kastles. A 5th break looming.
I think the only chance they have getting back in here is that Nicole Malachar has to be more active at the net and help Venus out somewhat. And it doesn't matter how good the server is. If your net player is not moving, it's like the whole court feels like it's open. So there's no pressure on the returner. Even here, you have to move around the net. Make your opponent see you. Oh, that was a let serve. You don't want to keep giving Venus Williams the opportunity here.
You know, Mark, we talk about the teams and lineups every year. You have to look at players and say, what kind of players do I want on my team? Obviously, you want to get great players, but how important is chemistry when you look at additions to the lineup?
Chemistry is so important in team tennis because you are together for 3 weeks, and people need to get along and work well together, and the culture of the team matters. I think San Diego's done a great job building their own culture, and I think it's been one of the secrets of our success over the years.
Yeah, right from the coach on down, from the people who help the team, from ownership.
Oh, there's that big serve. That's what I'm talking about. You cannot give one of the great servers of all time an opportunity to get back into a game. And again, Venus going with the big body serve, which is her favorite.
3rd deciding point of this event.
Look at Grunewald. She is climbing all over the middle part of the court here. Venus keeps trying to take a look.
Remember, that is a computer-generated voice. That's the Hawkeye Live system calling that. Incredible that the Kastles were able to get that game. Love 3 down, and they take it.
I think you just learned a lot of things about why Venus Williams has been so great in her career. There was so much pressure on that second serve. You can hear a pin drop in here, which is rare. She knew she'd already hit a couple double faults in this set. And the pressure on her to get that serve in was enormous.
Well, and just to lead the team back from 3 back to the point where they got to deciding point. That was really Venus being a leader.
Yeah. Because I know, Mark, that you feel a little bit more comfortable with Venus going in, maybe even down if they were to lose this set, going down 1 or 2 games as opposed to being down 3 or 4 games is, even for a great champion, difficult.
Every game, every point matters in World Team Tennis, and going into the last set when you're serving first, if you get 1 break, you win 5-2. That's a 3-game swing, so that's kind of a magic number that we look for. If you can be down by 3, you get 1 break, and you tie the match up.
Yeah, I mean, in team tennis, you really do look at a lot of sort of small things that make huge differences, and that last game was big.
course, now that's the home team, right? When you're on the road, it's a little different because you wouldn't be serving first.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
the team that's serving in that last set.
Yeah.
The one break is 5-2. If it's the other way, it's 5-3.
That's out.
And again, the pressure from Venus Williams there. I mean, if I had to pick a rally that favors Venus Williams, it's that one. Backhand, her backhand to Grunefeld's forehand, I'm taking Venus every time. So that's another opportunity. When you know what your opponent's weaknesses are, it's a time to take advantage of it. And Melika, if she'd hit and come in behind that return and put pressure on Grunefeld's forehand, which is her weaker shot, right here she had an opportunity. Hit this forehand and come in. Instead, she just chose to try and hit the one down the line. Great serve.
Yeah, that's a good effort. She had a couple of tight moments, but delivered in the end. Gets the Aviators to 4-3.
So again, Mark, as you said, every game so important right now. It's important for the Kastles to try and win this game, get it to a one-game deficit, and then maybe, if they win the tiebreak, then it's a very different looking scoreline for someone like Venus Williams. You would have to think if you're the Aviators, they need to almost win this game to have a chance, because Naomi Brodie has a good serve, though. It's very hard to break her, but you would have to favor Venus heavily in the singles.
You know, I've seen Brodie play a number of matches this year, and this is the best I've seen her play. She really is doing a lot of things well tonight.
Naomi Brodie's that type of player that loves the indoors, and that's what we were talking about. If you go from indoors to outdoors, it's a little tougher. To go out to in, for certain players like her, it's perfect.
Yeah, she's from Stockport near Manchester. Lots of indoor tennis going on in the UK.
That was interesting, though, Renee. To your point earlier, they put V in the I position to take away that cross-court backhand return, make her hit it down the line. Didn't get the serve in, but that was the strategy there.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is you have to, in doubles, take away the best return from your opponent or give yourself the best shot on the second shot.
Boy, now these are set points. And just giving you a quick update, Orange County is playing at Philadelphia. Philadelphia has a 22-16 lead. They're in the final set, the men's singles. So Philly looking like they might get another win tonight. Even more on the line tonight for these two teams as a result.
I just think if there's one mistake tonight, that maybe Murphy Jensen could have been a little bit more aggressive at coming out with the Geico timeouts here and saying to Nicole, why don't you hit and come into the net? Because you staying back on the baseline is difficult against this team because they're looking to come in. And Brodie's used the lob beautifully. Get it over the head of Venus Williams and then come into the net. It's old school doubles. Can they do it again, Mark? From Love 3.
About 2,500 people in this building are all wondering at this moment.
Yeah, it's another
no
great
one's
crowd.
left.
Another
They're
great
all
crowd,
sitting
Mark. Well
here.
done. Congratulations. You do such a great job here in Washington.
Grunewald and the Aviators. This is a surprise, but they take the women's doubles 5-3.
Yeah, that puts them in a really good position here in the last set, but with Venus Williams playing in cleanup here, it's going to be a barn-burning final to this match.
Mark, good luck. Thanks for visiting with us.
Thanks for having me. It's always great to be here with both of you, and it's a great finish here to another great World Team Tennis night.
Women's singles next. Venus Williams. Don't go anywhere.
Still a chance here. It's Willingham. Enter the box. Willingham shoots. Goal! That was magic. Willingham tucks it in and puts the championship to bed. Sweet dreams. Nice.
As long as soccer players celebrate with a slide, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Pressure. What pressure? The players on the...
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same.
Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots and close shaves. Of wins for the history books. And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game.
And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
Team Tennis is back for another season of hard-hitting action on ESPN.
So many great points in this one.
July 21st, the New York Empire head to the nation's capital to take on Francis Tiafoe and the 6-time WTT champion Washington Castles.
Incredible point.
Then, on August 5th, the league's two best teams battling out in the championship final for the King Trophy. Don't miss New York Empire versus Washington Castles, July 21st, and the WTT final, August 5th, presented by Geico.
In 1974, we founded a tennis league that was built on innovation, team spirit, and excitement. Now, 4 decades later, we're changing the game again and bringing World Team Tennis into the digital video age. This season, for the first time ever, you can stream every match from World Team Tennis on our new channel, WTT.tv, in high definition and completely free of charge. Check it out at WTT.tv.
Whoa, you're hitting them good, Jay. Have you ever played golf in the snow before?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just going to try to practice for all my life and see what it ends up to. Hopefully I'll be good enough to go to the tour.
Good shot, Big J.
Come on, guys, pop it back up.
We know our customers have busy lives. That's why we're working hard to improve our customer service. Now with the My Account app, you never have to guess when I'll be there. So instead of cutting your day short, you can stay out just a little bit longer. I'm Jaquetta from Comcast. We should fit into your life, not the other way around.
So here's confirmation of the scores so far tonight in the nation's capital. Marcus Willis taking out Tennis Sandgren. That really set sort of the tempo for things as the Aviators have gotten 3 of the 4 sets.
I don't know if you want to replay the tape, but I think I may have said something about the first set may have set the tone for the evening.
I believe Shiras alongside Renee Stubbs, Naomi Brodie, and Venus Williams in the women's singles. John Lloyd is courtside. John,
hey.
Talk us through how things have gone so far. You got 3 of the 4 sets. You guys have played well.
We have. We played great. I mean, it's you know, our team have our team have come through, you know, under some pressure situations, and yeah, I have to hand it to the ladies in the last match. They played brilliantly, and it's tough to come out against Venus when she's hitting the ball that hard and whacking those serves down, but I thought the women played so well and hung in there, and credit to everybody, but we've still got one set to go, so it's not over yet by a long way.
Now, John, you've got another Brit out there playing against Venus, so what do you tell Naomi going into this set?
Well, firstly, I tell her not to look at the score. I mean, win the set. Don't worry about the games up. If you do that, you start protecting, and then you start seeing the games go, and I think you can then start playing, you get tight. So I'm just telling her, just play your game and win the set. Worry about the score after. You win the set, we win the match. Simple as that.
Well, John, good luck. I hope it goes well for you.
Thank you.
From one old LA Strings player to another.
LA, that's three of us, the LA Strings.
Oh, no, I'm not an LA, so I didn't play for the Strings.
We never go away.
Good luck, John.
Thank you.
All right, Coach John Lloyd. He was Coach of the Year when the Aviators won in 2016.
Okay, I love that he said that. Okay, let's look at the extended rules because, of course, if Venus wins this set, if she can win at 5-2, then it will go into a super tiebreak. If she wins at 5-1, she wins. If she wins at 5-4, we go into extra time.
Yeah, that extended play would mean that Venus would have to win games until it was even, or Naomi Brodie won a single game, which would clinch it for the Aviators.
And obviously what John Lloyd was saying was so important, and it's really the catalyst of team tennis. Win your set. Just win your set. And obviously, if Naomi Brodie wins this set, then it's all over. It doesn't matter what the score is or anything. Because she's obviously ahead, she wins the last set, they win. But for Venus, what Venus would be trying to do is just win the set as well and win it as well as possible. It's really hard to play in this format when you're down 3 games coming into the last set to not think about the scoreline.
Let's get behind Venus. Make some noise for her.
2 points all. And here's a look at the close call that Hawkeye saw.
I cannot stress to you, and I've said this for years, and I really noticed it when I played with Venus and sat on the side of the court in these moments. Venus Williams, to me, is the best athlete I've ever seen. She is, what, 6'1", 6'1"? I mean, and moves unbelievable. First step. So when you think about a player of, say, no, she's the exact same height as Naomi Brodie. Naomi Brodie's not known for her movement.
Right.
I mean, Venus can still move. I mean, when she was at her very, very best, and still now, one of the things that used to just amaze me about her is that she would get out wide to a forehand or backhand, and her first step back was unreal. Truly one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen. Phenomenal first step. You'll see Venus really trying to attack to Naomi Brodie's backhand. That one-handed backhand is suspect from the back of the court. She'll be trying to get as many first serve free points as possible. You can see how tight Naomi Brodie is. It's almost like having the lead puts more pressure on Brodie, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I think if she would come out here, maybe at even or maybe down a game, she would have been loose and thinking, well, I'm not supposed to win this anyway, really. So just play. Whereas now she's like, oh my goodness, I've got a 3-game lead. Can I just hold on?
Yep, here's a quick Geico timeout by John Lloyd. He's going to come out and have a word with Naomi, who obviously has to be feeling a little flustered, has yet to win a point here on her serve, and first ball errors in the rally, never a way to build confidence.
And I can tell you, I know Naomi really well. She's a crack up. Like, there'll be a few F-bombs coming out of her mouth right about now, let me tell you. Because she knows she's going to, this is huge if she were to lose this handily and let her team down. And she knows the enormity of this match for her team. And if she's not getting first serves in, trouble.
She went after that, a second serve ace.
Well, I think she knows if she just lays it up there like a low-hanging fruit from a tree, Venus is going to just whack it.
Double fault. There's the break for Venus, and the Kastles have some momentum and some life. Yes, they're still down a game, but 2-love up in the singles now. Venus to serve. What's the game plan here for Brodie? Just play a good game, get balls in play?
I mean, you have to be aggressive against Venus, so she will win that war. Any second serve opportunity to go after, she has to. But in this format, it's not easy to do that. I mean, there is no chance that she's going to beat Venus in a backhand-to-backhand rally. So anytime she has a shot to go for on the forehand, she has to try and really let it go. But, I mean, this is a nightmare situation for Brodie because she would have liked to have got this set over with, maybe in the first set or two, not the last. The bottom line is for Naomi Brodie, if she can win 1 or 2 games and lose the set 5-2, you never know what could happen in the super tiebreak.
Get into the super tiebreak at the very least, right?
I mean, then the pressure goes back on Venus because Venus is supposed to win this set and the match.
One, two. Points all. Now, you know Venus well. Where will she go with this first serve?
I think she'll go body or wide.
Got that right. A point for 3-love. And to get even at 18 games all.
There's a big difference about Venus and Serena is the serve, very difficult to pick up where Serena was going. Serena's ball toss was the same. She could hit it anywhere, at any speeds, whereas Venus is a little bit more predictable of where she's going to go with the serve. again, I'd be watching body or tee on this one. Give her that wide one. Well, that's a huge game.
Venus.
Boy, oh boy. And you know, that just shows you, even as a great champion and as great a champion and competitor as Venus Williams is and how well she's played, even she feels the nerves. I mean, team tennis is, I'm telling you, it's a love-hate relationship. You hate it because it's so much pressure.
When you're winning, it's the best thing ever.
Oh man, it's so fun.
So a bit of a hiccup there for the Kastles in their move to make a comeback. It's Brodie serving now. So maybe that will relax Brodie.
You would think, because that was a big let-off. She should have been down 3-0. And it's safe to say that if it had been 3-love, you probably could have predicted a 5-0 set. But now it's all very different. So if I'm Naomi Brodie at this point, I should feel really good that I have a chance now. And I would definitely take a bit of a breather. Try and relax.
No one to challenge on that call. Pretty good second. Got into Venus's body backhand. And she's giving herself a good talking to there. Just didn't feel good about that return.
Again, you're seeing the best part of Naomi Brodie's game. If she gets the first serve in, then it's difficult. That's why that last game was so important.
So that backhand is wide. So it's looking like a real chance for the Kastles. Now it's Brodie and the Aviators trying to get to 2 games all. Yeah, another error, and that's another game for the Aviators. So Brodie's able to find a way through. Venus obviously a little frustrated by that. So the score back to a 3-game deficit at 20-17. Some real pressure here in the final set.
A tennis league built on innovation, passion, and respect moves into the digital video age. For the first time, fans around the globe can stream every match from the World Team Tennis season on our new channel, WTT.tv, completely free. Watch major champions and rising stars come together to compete for the coveted King Trophy.
So many great points in this one.
This summer, watch the entire season at WTT.tv, presented by Geico.
As people who love the outdoors, we know what we stand for. We stand for fish, wildlife, and conserving the places they call home. We stand for the traditions we inherited and that we must pass on. We stand for great gear, fair prices, expert service, and memorable experiences. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we stand together for you.
So back in DC, and it's Venus Williams serving at 17-20, 2 games all, 1 point all in the game.
What a great point.
Yeah, she is an awesome athlete, and when she comes forward, her transition game is so impressive.
Yeah, again, it's the most important thing when you come in is the first step. Go forward, get in as far as you can, as quick as you can, and Venus does that beautifully. I mean, for Naomi Brodie right now, I mean, this is the perfect situation, really, because she was looking like she was going to be down 3-love, possibly getting smoked in this set. Now she has an opportunity, at worst, to go into a super tiebreak.
Yeah, that is a hugely significant move for the Aviators. And Venus made an adjustment on the forehand there. Instead of trying to hit with topspin, she just said, okay, I'm going to make this and come in, force my opponent to do something.
Well, particularly with Naomi Brodie's backhand, she's not really going to hurt you that much with that side. And Venus is so accomplished at the net. And she's so difficult to get the ball past her because she's got these condor-like arms that cover the net so unbelievably well. Go-Go Gadget arms. Remember Go-Go Gadget?
Yes, I do. Excellent return by Venus. Obviously, this atmosphere, similar to Fed Cup. Venus played a couple of Fed Cup matches. February, 2 wins over the Netherlands in singles. Here's 0-2. Comes up with the pass. The approach shot wasn't good enough. Venus took full advantage.
Yeah, and again, as we talked about, the set needs to be won by Venus 5-2, and it goes into a super tiebreak. If Venus wins it 5-3 or 5-4, then it goes into extra time. She has to win every game until it's even.
Venus is able to break at love.
And boy, oh boy, does she wish she had done that at 2-love. How different the scoreline would have been and how different the pressure is. And now Venus, if she wins this game, she will even the score. It will go into a match tiebreak, 1st to 7, which is like your regular old tiebreak. How much pressure is on that?
Essentially a 13-point tiebreak. It could be 1 point if it gets to 6-all. But we'll see how this plays out.
Whereas if you're Brodie, I mean, you're desperate to try and win 1 game here. Because if you can win 1 game here, that'll allow you at least 1 game in extra time to try and get the match over with as well.
That's right, an extended play. It's not looking good for the Aviators as Venus now Couple points away from taking the set and forcing a super tiebreak.
I mean, this is why Venus comes back, isn't it? Just a little bit of pressure. What do you think, Mark Ein? He's praying down there. He's sitting next to his wife, Sally, there.
Venus Williams. Set points.
So this is to win the set and even the score. To take it into a 13-point deciding super tiebreak.
Yeah, a little easier to uncoil on the one-hander when you've got some time. A second serve, not the same pace.
Just not enough. And you know what this is doing right here, Leaf? This is setting the tone, in my opinion, for the super tiebreak. Because Venus likes to have momentum. And so for her, she needs a good first serve here to get herself into the frame of mind to serve well in that super tiebreak. Whereas for Brodie, she's thinking, I can break her in the super tiebreak if I don't get first serves. Oh, laces it down the line.
Unbelievable.
Timeout, Kastles. Geico time.
She's saved 3 set points. Look where this forehand lands. Right in the corner. I think she was a little surprised by it as well. So, John Lloyd trying to get the game plan straight for Naomi. And for Venus Williams, I'm sure Murphy Jensen is saying how much a first serve will help her. Chance for a super tiebreak or a game for the Aviators. The first serve, Venus Williams takes the set 5-2. Time for a super tiebreak.
This is what they came for.
And the Kastles crowd is on their feet. Venus Williams, she may have lost the women's doubles.
She just said, so now what do we do?
But she takes the women's singles. Well, Venus, get ready. Time for a super tiebreak. A 13-point super tiebreaker. The first team to 7 points will win it, and it could be just a 1-point advantage. Remember, it gets to 6 points all. 1 point to decide it.
Yep. There's none of this, let's just keep serving like a la Kevin Anderson and John Isner.
Yeah,
We're
no 26-24. We've seen a few tiebreak sets this year. In fact, Springfield beat New York in a super tiebreak. Washington also beat New York in a super tiebreak. Francis Tiafoe coming up with a win to give Washington a 21-20 win. So all these little moments over the course of a season can add up to a chance to play for a King Trophy. You feel like tonight, this result is going to be significant for that. Philly got the win, so they are 7-1 now.
Yep, this is this could be the deciding thing for who is in the final. And that's what we've been seeing all night long. It's been a close match throughout. There's not been one blowout other than the last set, really 5-2. But now it comes down to this. First to 7 points.
Super tiebreaker.
Now Naomi Brodie will serve the first 2 points, and then it's 2 points each until the final 3.
That is a big point for Venus, just to set the tone of how this set's going to finish. She wants to start this tiebreak well.
Now the backhand was on the line, the forehand was wide. So Venus takes Brodie's 2 service points. So she has a big advantage here at the start.
Well, the Aviators are a little upset because they feel like someone from the crowd was calling out. But you know what? This is World Team Tennis, and I'm going to tell you right now, when you're playing away in a crowd that's this packed, that's this parochial, you got to get over that, and you got to get over it fast.
Yeah.
Because it happens in regular tour titles. It's definitely going to happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not interrupt play with calls. Thank you. As a courtesy to both teams. 2-0, Kastles.
You can see how much this means to Venus. I mean, sort of berating herself after missing that last shot. It's been a great exhibition tonight of how important every point and every game is in World Team Tennis.
There's the first serve down the tee. And the first point that has gone to serve. Kastles 3-1. 7 is the goal. Springfield is playing at New York tonight. Springfield 24-16. They're in the final set, the mixed doubles.
3-1.
So the Empire still looking like they will go winless.
Well, Brodie's just going to keep going for those second serves because she doesn't want to leave anything short. Venus, as great a champion as she is, she'll go after those and she'll make you pay. So it's a good effort from Brodie. Another huge serve.
So it'll be a change of ends after 6 points.
Now,
so
Venus,
both players getting a little bit better on serve now.
Absolutely, and if you look at the way the scoring is, Venus will serve these 2 points. It will go, let's just take it on that they hold serve. It'll go 5-3 to Venus. Brodie will then serve till 5-all, and Venus actually gets the last 3 serves. So if you're in this situation, it's really important for Venus to stay calm and try and get these 2 points.
Brodie just played with underspin and control, got the ball deep.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice. Slice the ball, keep it low. was some pressure. Really smart from Brodie to slice the forehands back and keep it low, because when you're nervous, it is hard sometimes to get the racket head speed you want. And Venus did a great job of continuing the racket head speed, particularly on that last one. That was not an easy shot. Now the pressure back on Brodie's shoulders. If she were to lose one of these service points, then Venus really has it on her own racket to serve it out.
Strong play from Brodie. That was a tough one-hander, and she handled
Kastles
it.
using a Geico time.
Now here's a quick Geico timeout. Now Brodie got a wild card at Wimbledon. She played Garbina Muguruza in the first round. But here she is taking on a former world #1, someone who's won 49 career titles and almost 800 matches. Who's got the edge in experience out here? That's just incredible numbers that Venus has amassed in her illustrious career. But it's the Aviators, 5-4.
Aviators.
One more point for Brodie on serve.
Unbelievable serving from Brodie, and I gotta tell you, I gotta give a lot of credit to John Lloyd here, because he went out when Brodie was looking like she wanted to be anywhere but on the tennis court at 2-love, and he had a little word to her, and it really helped her calm down. Now the pressure is squarely on the shoulders of the great Venus Williams.
Brodie did everything right but finish. Wow.
Well, Brodie could not have played that point any better. And she had that forehand on top of the net.
6-5. Aviators are using timeout. Aviators.
A Geico timeout. Well, this is what makes team tennis so great. Down to the final point to decide it.
And Naomi Brodie gets to decide what side to take this on at 6-all, and she's chosen the second court, the backhand side of the court for a righty.
Match
Here
point,
we
receiver's choice.
go. Because the crowd again were yelling out, but you know what, that was just as much a distraction for Venus Williams as it was for Brodie, unfortunately. But I tell you what, oh my goodness gracious, we saw why Venus Williams is 7-time Grand Slam champion. She came with the goods on that last point. She's reenacting the entire point to her team right now. Oh, Lord.
Wow, did she deliver under pressure?
She's like, Mark,
unbelievable.
I can't keep doing this.
Look at this second serve.
I know, the second serve was ripped. And that return was right on the line. And again, as I said, Brodie was not happy about the line call being called by the crowd. But guess what? Venus was as distracted, if not more. And then still keeps going for the backhand and hits the winner. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's easy to judge from here, but you'd want to keep the ball off Venus's two-hander. It's such a good shot, so dependable under pressure. And it came through in a big way there. The Kastles with a massive victory. And it may have, repercussions when it comes to who's going to play for the King Trophy.
I just love to see this. This is why Venus comes back to play every single year. These moments, she just is clutch under pressure every time. It's a love-hate relationship. It's still there.
Yeah, here's a look at the standings now. The Kastles squarely in second place, 6 wins, 2 losses. The Aviators drop down to 5-3. Now remember, there's still 6 matches to play. But what will happen over the course of the next 10 days?
I don't know, but that one was huge tonight. Wow.
Incredible. The Empire go to 0-8. The Lasers, well, 2-6. Orange County Breakers, 3-5. San Diego Aviators, 5-3. So, a huge win for the Kastles. Venus Williams plays her part. Unable to get the point in the women's doubles, but delivers a 5-2 win in the final set. And then, down 6-4 in the super tiebreak, comes up with a final 3 points. And the last one, she had to produce a second serve on the line and a backhand winner to finish it off. Just an amazing sequence of events as the Kastles get the win and lock up second place here in the standings. Wow, what an evening. Just trying to coordinate a moment with Venus Williams. Naomi Brodie, she played a wonderful super tiebreak, put herself in a position to win, but just couldn't get over the line. But a chance for us now to catch up with Venus Williams. Venus, we're looking at that last backhand winner and your excitement in celebrating. Talk us through what you were thinking down 6-4 in those final 3 points.
Well, I thought, she served well. She deserved to win those points, and I wasn't down 6-4 because I played badly, and I just had to hang on to my serve. And, it's kind of a crazy feeling when you win a set 5-2 and then you've got to play for your life. So Team Tennis is unbelievable because of that excitement.
And 6 points all. You hit a second serve. You went after that. What was your mindset there? That was a great serve.
I was just thinking, well, now's the time to go for it. And she'd been stepping in to hit that second. And I just thought, well, maybe if I go for it, maybe she'll miss. But she didn't. And we continued to play another competitive point. And I've never played her before. I've never actually seen her play. So that was tricky, too. She's seen me play a lot. I've never seen her. And it was, you have to make adjustments along the way.
Okay, V, we know, I'm going to tell you, I was texting with Serena. She was watching the match. I'm sure she's very proud of you. Secondly, is Team Tennis like a love-hate relationship because it is so stressful?
It's so stressful.
Explain. I mean, you've been in Wimbledon finals and Grand Slam finals, and what's the difference with this one?
The difference is you're playing for the crowd. I mean, you think about I can't lose because everyone's going to be disappointed, and people have come out to see you play, and you feel that collective sadness when you lose. So it's that pressure of not just your expectations. I can deal with that, but everyone else is, wow, it's a lot.
Well, Venus, congratulations. We've seen you perform some, I don't know, that was a Houdini act right there, getting yourself in trouble.
Hey, girl.
Well done. That was magical. Congratulations to the Kastles.
Well done, V.
Thank you.
All right, Venus Williams, she's our winner, and so are the Kastles tonight. 21-20. They were down 3 match points, but Venus is able to get it done.
Whoa, you're hitting them good, Jay. Have you ever played golf in the snow before?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just going to try to practice for all my life and see what it ends up to. Hopefully I'll be good enough to go to the tour.
Good shot, Big J.
World Team Tennis is back for another season of hard-hitting action on ESPN.
So many great points in this one.
July 21st, the New York Empire head to the nation's capital to take on Francis Tiafoe and the 6-time WTT champion Washington Castles.
Incredible point.
Then, on August 5th, the league's two best teams battling out in the championship final for the King Trophy. Don't miss New York Empire versus Washington Castles, July 21st, and the WTT final, August 5th, presented by Geico.
I woke up in Memphis and told people about Geico. How they could save 15% or more, but by just calling or going online to geico.com. Sorry, are you gonna... Every time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same.
Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots and close shaves. Of wins for the history books. And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game.
And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness
is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
A tennis league built on innovation, passion, and respect moves into the digital video age. For the first time, fans around the globe can stream every match from the World Team Tennis season on our new channel, WTT.tv, completely free. Watch major champions,
incredible point,
and rising stars come together to compete for the coveted King Trophy.
So many great points in this one.
This summer, watch the entire season at WTT.tv, presented by Geico.
World Team Tennis has been brought to you by Wilson. Get the best gear in the game. By DecoTurf, official tennis court surface of World Team Tennis and the official surface of the US Open since 1978. By Forevermark. Less than 1% of the world's diamonds are worthy of the Forevermark inscription. Forevermark, a diamond is forever. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. An incredible evening of tennis in our nation's capital. A match that, well, it had good things written all over it. Two great teams, both tied for second place, teeing it up, and it came down to a super tiebreak. Won by Venus Williams in the women's singles over Naomi Brodie, 7-6. That gave the 21-20 win to the Kastles. A chance now to catch up with Murphy Jensen. Murphy, describe for us those last few moments. How good were you feeling about Venus down 4-6?
Well, that was where it was really kind of sketchy, but I did feel good because she was at the wheel serving. And the thing, when John chose to serve first in the breaker, I knew we had a good shot even down 4-6. We got last three with Hall of Famer and superstar Venus Williams serving it out.
Murphy, what does Venus sort of tell you in those timeouts and various things that we don't get to hear, that we'd like the people at home to sort of understand what her thought process is?
I think the biggest thing that she reminds me of is that she says, I've got to play my game, and my game is aggressive. I can't play tentative. I can't play not to lose. I've got to be aggressive. And that's the takeaway for me tonight, is that up 2-0 and 3-2
to go up 3-0. She got a little tentative there. And at 2-0, she's like, Murphy, the only way I'm going to win this match tonight is to be aggressive, and she did that coming down the stretch.
And how meaningful was this win tonight? Obviously puts you into second place. Philly with the win tonight. You guys are now just a game behind.
It's a massive win all the way around. We had 7 before tonight, and there's 6 left. And, you know, to clip an unbelievable team like San Diego, coached by John Lloyd, I mean, their squad is as good as I've ever seen in World Team Tennis. And you got to see it. Everyone got to see it.
Yeah, and you guys are 4-1 at home. You guys love playing at home. It just seems like you have maybe a game or two just because of this atmosphere and this crowd.
Without question, there's a home field advantage in World Team Tennis, especially in Washington, D.C., because the fans really get it. They used to watch Renee Stubbs, dominate year after year, starting in 2009. Superstars across the board with Martina Hingis, Leander Paes, Serena Williams. And, we want to bring it. We've come to bring it. Our fans come to bring it every single night, Leaf.
Hey, Murphy, congratulations. Best of luck for you guys moving forward. The Castle's a huge win.
Go World Team Tennis!
Murphy Jensen, multiple Coach of the Year, and doing another great job tonight as the Castles get the win. Super tiebreak time in the nation's capital, and it's Venus Williams who delivers. So an amazing night of tennis here at Castle Stadium, the Smith Center, on the campus of George Washington University. It was stormy and rainy outside, but perfect conditions for World Team Tennis here at the Smith Center. The Castles into second place behind the Freedoms. Thanks to our crew, thanks to Renee Stubbs, I'm Leif Shiras. So long, everybody. The Castles and the Aviators, a brilliant night of tennis.